I've made us matching morphs.
Why is your voice so shaky when you were saying that? Why are you nervous?
I'm not. This is Sparrowpaw. This is the one I intended for you to use. And this is Finchpaw. Oh, you're gone. Try to copy my bio the best you can with, like, your own words. Alright, that's perfect. You used capitals, though. S naive but helpful Tom. No! One word at a time, it's okay.
Okay, now I just gotta replace Sparrow with Finch, and it should not explode.
Am I the problem?
You are the. What if I like do something like this so it doesn't?
It's so small.
Okay, I'm not gonna touch it anymore.
The capital A.
If this makes it explode, I'm gonna kill you.
Look at us.
We're so beady. We're so
Beady? Let's figure out what's going on over here.
I gotta voice act my text. Finch Paul, let's be nosy and see what's going on.
Okay, he inched forward. They're already gone.
It took too long to type.
Let's try to get mentors. Oh, he's ready to meet a fox. Eagle is your mentor. Eagle Eye. Okay. They're mentoring both of us?
Come on, let's go find this guy and annoy them.
They're the deputy.
Oh, I didn't realize that they were right there. Finch Paul, I can't believe we get to be trained by the deputy herself.
You think they can handle it? He looked over at Eagle Eye warily. You two come here, please. You two. Moonpaw is my apprentice too. Okay. Okay. We always train in the morning. Got it. Thank you, Eagle Eye. Do you want to sleep in the up nests or the other up nests?
Let's go to the up nest.
Okay. Do we sleep in the same nest still? Are we baby? Oh. Should we try to add moons to our bio, or do you think it'll kill your bio again?
Okay, now I just gotta add the kid name. Oh, did you fall asleep already?
Yeah.
Finch Paul, I'm lost. Never mind.
Why are we spinning? Finchpaw hopped onto his paws, trotting over to Eagle Eye. Are we training now? With Sparrowpaw? Oh, yep, they beat me to it. Moonpaw, Sparrowpaw, and Finchpaw, time for training. It's like a class.
Finch Paul. Are you my brother?
Yes.
Oh wait, you're twins, of course. Time for training. Oh, wait, is there a fake deputy?
Okay, I'm sorry. This person says they're Australian. Oh, I thought this said Australian scented. Why are we walking so slowly? If I walk faster, will everyone else start walking faster? Yeah! Who is that? Who is this cat? Sparrowpaw! I found a lone- Sparrowpaw, he hissed. I pressed enter too early!
Tail!
Sparrowpaw and Frenchpaw, you two are dubbed the trouble for other- double the trouble for other clans. Is that a good thing? Yes. Are we chasing this loner out? He looked behind him. No.
Alright, yeah, I guess we don't need to follow the code, you know?
First, I'll show you how to avoid attacks.
Tax me!
Okay. I think we're doing this physically. Alright, are you ready to jump over them?
Yeah.
On 3.
Yippee. I did it better.
Yay!
I did it better.
Aw. Let's do it again. Those two almost look like siblings. They're gonna be real surprised.
They stopped. They stopped.
I jumped further.
midway.
I got so much further than you.
Oh.
Okay, now if the cat jumps before you, go under. Like duck, I guess? No way, we both did the exact same thing.
Zero communication, 100% brain power.
What about Moonpaw? Size. Wanna go swim?
Yeah, let's go swimming.
Yeah! Hold at the river to get a drink.
We're going swimming.
No!
No, we're very good swimmers.
You can't tell us what to do. Back to our mentor now. Let's just go.
Fine.
Yeah!
I'm not.
You're going to the riverbank to swim. I need med. Okay. I think they broke their leg. You ruined everything, he pouted. She collapsed. Oh. Oh no. I'm using my twin telekinesis to tell you I need help. Moonpaw collapsed. We need to help her to the med den. Okay. Oh, everyone switched to River Clan. Oh, absolutely everybody left. Do you want to just teleport to River Clan and be like, our clan died?
Yeah.
Want to go swim? Yippee!
Yeah.
Go out into the water. I'm gonna try to land on you.
I hit my head.
Alright, you ready for this? I did it!
Finchpaw, we should go before it gets to water. What if it gets swept away in the currents? Help! Help me! Help!
Patrols. We never went on a patrol in Wind Clan. If there are any other warriors to take Finchpaw and Sparrowpaw hunting... I can take them. And Spider Spine's taking us hunting. Thank you, Spider Spine. Yay!
Yay!
We're slinking. Slinking? Slinking? Sneaking? Can I try? No!
Do you spawn abruptly? Hold on.
A-B-R-U-P... What? Sparrowpaw, I'm doing it! I did it! Yay!
Yay, we did it!
Yeah! I like Spider Spine.
Spider Spawn gives me a, I was gonna say, was that 1x?
Oh, our leader died already. Let's go get some EP.
Yay!
Have you seen Finchpaw and Sparrowpaw? Oh, we're the Warriors Den.
A surprise just for us.
The leader has something very special planned when he gets back from the Moonstone. I can't tell. Just be here for it. Okay. We are so becoming warriors, he purred. What are you saying? I can't read that! Let's go and not back to the Warriors Den. Sparrowpaw, he whispered. It's day. We need to wait for Copperstar.
I'm gonna wait in the nets.
Let's get my ceremony without you. I've never been an apprentice. I don't roleplay as an apprentice.
By the
What
way,
is going on in the medicine den? I just want to look. Oh, someone's giving birth.
Oh god!
I want both. They're a pair. I don't think we're actually being made warriors. I think we're just getting a new mentor. We have 2 apprentices being handed off to train under one of our warriors and wished for a full ceremony to let this be known.
I can't see, there's grass in the way. I can't see, there's reeds in the way.
You two deserve a proper mentor in Spider Spine. From this day until you see your warrior names, may they pass down all he knows to you both. It'll be hard to have 2, but I'll make it work, he promised. I'll do my best to train them. Let's go. Well, let me close. You're a little fast. This is a popular area connecting up to Wind Clan. Finchpaw's ear flicked. We're from Wind Clan, actually. I would have never thought. Sparrow still can't swim, he chuckled. Aren't we breaking the forest? No, if we don't get caught, now come on.
I must report this to the leader.
We must be made warriors for this. Yeah, he's just straight up hunting, I think. That frog is evidence that we were here. Are we going to their camp? This goes straight to Shadow Clan camp. Where are they? Let's see. Empty, he scoffed. Bro, I think they're dead. Alright, come on. My paws hurt. TP to ThunderClan. Oh, he's hunt sneaking. That's why he's so fast. Is he gonna steal? That's not empty! I'm a little worried about our new mentor. Let's go home. Remember, this was just a secret fun trip. Okay. I'm scared of our new mentor, Sparrowpaw. Successful hunting trip as always. I caught this frog if you want it. We need to find a time to talk to Copperstar when Spider Spine isn't around. We're not supposed to hunt another clan's territory, right? His voice was shaky. No, we aren't supposed to hunt across borders. They left. We were told to keep it a secret. I need you two to go out for herbs. Yes, Spider Spine. This is a manipulator. This guy is manipulating. Or we need to go get Thyme, I think. I think that's what they said. You two should be good to go by yourselves. I want to hide over here and then use free cam. I want to see how this conversation goes down. Who did that? He meowed, looking concerned.
Well, your princesses were asking me about it. I mentioned someone telling them to keep quiet about the whole thing. He raised a brow.
The furthest I took them was the 4 trees, and we stayed on either River Clan territory or unclaimed lands to get there. They didn't follow anyone, did they? You liar. That worries me. He's manipulating Copperstar!
He shook his head. I think just extra chores as punishment will do now. So it'll have to be done if it continues.
For us?
Are we getting extra chores?
Are we in trouble? I take mentoring very seriously. I will not tolerate this behavior. Yes, I will give them more chores. Thank you for telling me. No way. No! What? Alright, let's go get some time. Oh, that's ridiculous. What if we just bring back Moss?
No, let's just bring back Moss.
Oh, they're waiting for us. You are soaked. Go to your dens, dry off. You told us to come out here. That is mouse-brained, he meowed louder than intended. He's manipulating Copperstar. I was hoping they'd get involved, but they don't seem to care. Should we just try to find him?
Okay, hold on. I have a plan. I will go distract Spider Spine. And then you go talk to Copperstar. Because then he'll be distracted on me.
Alright. Copperstar, he hissed a whisper. I didn't get to finish. It was Spider Spine. He took us into Shadow Clan, right into their camp. He checked their fresh kill pile, then he took us to ThunderClan. StarClan, I was so tired. This can't be excused. I'll reassign your mentor the next meeting I hold and figure out what to do with them. Of course, Sparrow. Sparrow?
Finch Paw, what did he say?
He believed me. He said it wouldn't be excused, and he was really just... he didn't believe it. What happened with Spider Spine?
He didn't go. He didn't.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think Spider Spine just got broken up with.
No. Rorepaw, Finchpaw. Please step forward. You have both proved yourselves over the moons to be great hunters despite challenges during your apprenticeship. Sparrow Whistle and Finchlight.
Sparrow Whistle and Finchlight. We were successfully made warriors, but then everybody in the roleplay gave up, and Spider Spine was never punished. Elderpaw, Birchpaw, and Oakpaw, please step up below the high rock. Elderpaw sat impatiently, squinting his eyes as to see Autumn Star against the sun. I'm walking now.
I'm walking now, too.
It's so bright.
Birchpaw was blinded by the sun, but tried his best to look up to Autumn Star.
I, Autumn Star, leader of ThunderClan, call upon my warrior ancestors to look down on these apprentices. She paused before continuing on. Ablaze Horizon, Pale Whisker, and Rain Laurel. May you three step up. He would almost groan at his name, stepping forward with a trudge. Horizon blinked, then stood at the foot of the tall rock. Elderpaw looked at the three. Which one would be his mentor?
Birch looked to the three approaching cats. One of these will be my mentor, he thought to himself. I hope not that grump, staring to Ablaze Horizon.
Myrtle stared at the three, stunned how much they look alike, but each of them have something different about them. Horizon felt the will, or perhaps the patience, drain from his stance. He glanced at the apprentices with disdain. Ablaze Horizon, you will be the mentor of Birchpaw. Pale Whisker, you will be the mentor of Elderpaw. May you pass down the wisdom and courage to these new apprentices. He blinked slowly. Surely this was a joke. His brows furrowed for a second, then relaxed. Well, it wasn't the worst news possible. He stood, stepping over his siblings and wobbling over to Pale Whisker.
Birch timidly approached his new mentor.
He touched the tan cat's nose with a purr. He gently touched noses, a light murp at the coldness.
Hey, he got closer to touch noses.
My mentor kind of looks like Popcat.
Birch reluctantly touches noses and then sits down.
Yell their name, chat! Horizon breathed a sigh of relief and took a seat. Pale wasn't sure. He knew most avoided him due to his attitude. How would he train an apprentice?
Why'd I get stuck with that sour Tom? He'd whispered just a little too loud to Alder.
Maybe she thought it suited you. He glanced over.
Oh, what? Because I'm the oldest, I deserve rough treatment?
Getting put in your place, more like, he mocked.
Har, har, har. Well, I'll still turn out to be the best warrior this clan has ever seen.
I'm sure, he said with a purr, trotting away before pausing. Was he meant to be on patrol? He shrugged. He was tired anyway.
Lucifer, he hung back as to not be picked for any frivolous activities such as patrols.
Oh, Light, are you in the den?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. Elderpaw outstretched his paws, annoyingly kneading at Oakpaw's face. We got mentors.
You guys got good ones. Unfair.
My mentor is so cool, Oak responded, swatting playfully at Alder's paws.
Don't assume the worst, Birchpaw. His tail flicked as he rolled back over.
Fine. He'd sighed, knowing this wouldn't be easy.
Let's just sleep, he said, rolling over onto his brothers, pushing them jokingly.
He shook out his fur. It was rude to depart to a separate nest. They'd always stayed together in the nursery.
Fine, fine. Rest well.
He picked out his nest, pulling out a stray stick and flicking it into Birchpaw's nest before laying down.
Hey, you can't treat your older brother that way, he'd say, jokingly flicking it back.
His pelt flicked as it landed on his fur, but he didn't move. It didn't bother him much. Elderpaw stirred in his nest. It was weird to be alone in the nest. It was kind of cold. Oakpaw, Rain patted into the apton, waking her new apprentice for his first day of training. Elderpaw heard the cat's call, waking.
Birch slowly stirred, a slow riser.
Oak rolled over, waking up and stretching his legs as he heard his name get called.
He shook out his pelt, padding out in search of his own mentor. Oh, hello. Pale Whisper, he perked up. Are we seeing the territory today? Pale nodded to the young feline, a flick of his tail urging him to follow. Whoa. He watched his mentor slink across the forest floor. The tree seemed so big. He used his nose, ears swiveling, until they stopped. His head turned, a quick open and close of his mouth before crouching down. He nodded, crouching as well. He'd eventually learned how this cat communicates. For now, he was doing okay. He eyed the river as they passed it. Wasn't RiverClan over there? His eyes spotted it, gently nudging the apprentice forward. He purred. He'd done it, with a nudge from Pale Whisper, of course. Pale smiled, proud the plan worked, and both in Elder for understanding. Aren't we close to RiverClan? He turned, eyes widening at the bridge and distant waterfall. He sniffed the air. Oakpaw? Without a thought, he abandoned his mentor and trotted over. I caught a mouse. He stared at Oakpaw.
Oak turned to face his brother, pressing his head against Elder's in a weird, affectionate headbutt.
Can we continue the tour together? He looked hopefully towards his mentor. Pale became awkward at the sight of more cats, weirdly nodding to the other mentor. He hesitated, but the excitement on his face broke all barriers. He nodded gently. Where were you planning to go next? Rain asked in a soft, polite voice. We got distracted by a mouse, he chuckled nervously, speaking for Pale Whisper. The Tom gestured in the direction of Sunning Rocks. Without a second thought, he'd led them to the always-changing Sunning Rocks, in hopes to get their minds off everything. His mind. The warm rays hitting his fur helped calm him down. This was always a good spot to relax his nerves. We're missing someone!
What's going on? Oakpaw asked, staring at the RiverClan warriors.
Intruding on our land, Stamgaze attempted to block Oakpaw's views. No place for a newly made apprentice like you. This mouse is getting cold. She looked at Pale, understanding, and gave him a nod. Let's go. She started to pat away. Elderpaw proudly placed the mouse in the pile. Do you want to share a rabbit?
We can share a rabbit. Oak began to roll around in the dirt.
I'm the guardian of the apprentice den. What is it you seek from the superior Elder Star? He mocked.
I wish to obtain a stick.
You may have a stick.
I have stick now. I am now your mighty deputy, Oak responded, standing next to the trunk.
Duskpaw spied on Oakpaw and Elderpaw, intrigued on what they were talking about. Oakpaw, my deputy, I think Duskpaw has taken an interest in us. So you saw me, Duskpaw sighed. You smell like herbs, he said bluntly. I smelt you. What kind of herbs? Duskpaw said, nervously praying she didn't smell bad. I don't know any herbs. I'm not a plant cat, he spat insultingly. He was acting, though. What's that supposed to mean? Just kind of like grass.
Yeah, like grass.
Wait, you can't come in! I'm Elder Star, you need permission. Huh? Magpie looked confused, but then, Huh? She tilted her head, then seemed to laugh at her. Okay, great, Elder Star, may we come in? I don't know. Oakpaw, do you think they are allowed to rest? He turned.
I'm tired, so I say yes.
That's that then. Thank you, oh so gracious Elder Star. He nodded with a purr.
By Duskpaw, he said, patting into the apprentice nest.
Birch sat in solemn silence, contemplating the words of his mentor earlier.
How was your training?
Oh, you've never... Horizon cut himself off. Right, obviously. Yeah, alright. Let's explore the borders first. Keep up or I'll leave you behind. So is this where we fight off foxes and hunt those big squirrels? Horizon felt indignation flare in his chest. Yes, but you won't be fighting any of those big foxes anytime soon. They'd eat you. Look how tiny and scrawny you are. Let's start with our closest border. Come along, Pipsqueak. Whoa! What is this? Birch patted onto it without any forethought. Get off the path, Birchpaw! Horizon half yelled, half panicked. What is wrong with you? I haven't even explained the danger yet. Honestly, do you even think? He sneered. It's a dangerous stretch of rock, not for its terrible stench. He wiped his nose with a paw, but because of the monsters, the terrible, screeching creatures that barreled down it. Monsters? Don't worry. I'll be such a great warrior, I can fight them off. Fight them off? You? You heard me the first cat to fight off a monster. Horizon laughed in the cat's face, though it lacked mirth. Just stay clear of it. You might end up buried here. This is the log bridge. This trail is the one we take for gatherings amongst the clans. I can't wait to go to the next gathering. It'd be so cool. Bryson tilted his head at the opportunity to hold something over the cat so soon. If you want to go, you'll have to If you want to go, you'll have to be on your best behavior. We can't have failures representing us at Four Trees. Ew, those fishy cats live over there? He walked to the water's edge and peered inside, something the two could actually agree on for once. Yes, those vermin live there. I can't wait to become leader so I can show RiverClan who's boss. I seriously doubt you'd be able to do that. You're tiny and flea-brained. Becoming a leader would be a serious accomplishment. Hey, I'm not flea-brained. Really? Because you did happen to rush out on our deadliest border carefree. Bryson laughed at the young apprentice. If you died, it wouldn't have meant anything. Bryson stared up at the setting sun. That's it for today. We'll discuss further training tomorrow. Run along to your precious clanmates, boy. You almost wasted my time. Yeah, it was fine.
You blinked. Okay.
Birch said nothing, not wanting to burden his siblings. Birch wanted nothing more than to have someone to confide in. Do you guys ever think about the fact that we don't have a mom or dad to talk to?
He sat up, stretching his legs. Not really. I have you two.
Don't you wish we had someone to look up to impress? And someone to be proud of us?
That's what the mentors are for, he assured, not seeing the problem.
Yeah, that's what they should be for. His mentor's words drilling into his head. If you died, it wouldn't mean much of anything. The thought once more stabbed Birch deep in the chest.
Good night. He didn't have much to say.
He sighed and laid down, not knowing how to properly express his emotions. Maybe sleep would help this sinking feeling.
He tried to sleep, but the look of sadness on Birchpaw's face was haunting him. He carefully stepped around the nests, prodding at Oakpaw until he woke up and followed him. Oakpaw! We need to figure out who our parents are for Birchpaw.
We could ask RiverClan.
He blinked. Why didn't he think of that? Let's go!
Paul, do you know where we're going? Paul, I don't know how I got here. Help me. Go. Do you know where you're going?
I have no idea where I am.
Paul, we don't know RiverClan territory. Where are we going? I found a new thing to choose.
Take it. Oh, you did. No.
My stick!
I'm so sorry.
We need to keep going.
I'm sorry.
We need to find where our parents are.
We should wait here. I smell a lot of cats that way. Oh, we were followed. He blinked. Hello. Excuse me? I think you're on the wrong side, Kits, he said in a calm voice. No, he shook his head. We want...
Do you know who our parents are?
Oh, yeah, that. I'm not sure. We were found as Kits and taken to ThunderClan. Birchpaw wants to know who our parents are.
Do you want my shell as an offering of peace?
He sat down listening to them. Maybe you should try the barn. I don't think the cats in RiverClan are disloyal to the code at all. I didn't mean to imply that. He seemed to grow nervous, just looking for answers. Keep your shell, but go back to ThunderClan before a cat notices.
Okay, he said, more happy that he can keep to the shell.
He nodded, looking at Oakpaw. I guess that's it. Oh, and here comes trouble. He glanced over at Hailstrike. They're newly made apprentices, he lied. They probably don't know whose territory this is. I was about to send them away anyways. Come on, you two. He got to his mitts. He darted away, tumbling over Oakpaw. Oh god, we're being chased. Fish breath. He spat the insult before realizing they could swim. His face would scrunch up. Please leave the Sunning Rocks and go back to your camp. Uh-oh. I was watching the entire time.
Ooh, you broke territory rules. Began.
If you wanted to know what happened to your parents, you could have asked the leader. Instead of going into the RiverClan territory, you both. He would say, looking at the both of them. How would they know? They found us in their territory, he scoffed. Yes, but you would have had the scent of your parents on you. He gawked at Dusk Branch. Get back to camp. Both of you know I'll have to inform the leader about this. He stuck out his tongue before complying.
Ironically, a lot of our border skirmishes come from the kitty pet place. The word rolled off his tongue in disgust. Oh. Birch was coldly disengaged and in his own thought. Horizon felt whatever patience he had run thin. You, Kit, you're being distracted by something. Are you going to pay attention or not? Oh, sorry. Birchpaw was startled. I just have something I need to ask you. He looked to his mentor with nervousness in his eyes. Horizon felt apprehension rising in his chest. The expression and tone of the cat's voice reminded him of his child, in a way, he supposed. What is it, kid? Do you know who my parents are? Or maybe were? I don't even know. I've just been thinking about it all day. Abruptly, a grin spread across the Tom's face. Seriously? Yeah. Birch stared down to his paws. If I had to guess, they weren't off because they didn't want you little rejects. You in particular. You're weak. Pathetic. You and your whole family are probably kitty pet vermin. There's no way. The fur shut up on his back. Birchpaw? A kitty pet? No. Then why aren't they here, boy? Did Mom and Dad choose the pampered, easy life over you? Because they knew you were weak? I wonder what your siblings think of you. He belittled further. Birch said nothing. He just let those tears out as he ran towards camp.
Birchpaw, you're back.
Birch said nothing and raced towards the app den, crying.
Birchpaw? He brushed his way through the brush to get to him.
Birch laid his head down, panting. I was just told something so horrible.
He tilted his head. What possibly could have upset him this badly?
He couldn't look in his brother's eyes. My mentor just told me he thinks we're kitty pets. He said our parents abandoned us for an easy life and that we're nothing more than vermin.
He cursed at himself. Why didn't he think of that? Kitty pets! Oh. And you don't like that idea, do you?
What do you mean? Birch sat up instantly. You do?
He moved his paw, fidgeting. I don't think it changes who we are, but truly, I don't know. I can't think about how it would make me feel until I know if it's true.
Do you really want to be a lazy kitty pet? A vermin?
We wouldn't be kitty pets. We would be ThunderClan. He puffed his fur out proudly.
It's our blood that makes us kitty pets. We'd never become warriors or achieve great things.
Don't put yourself down like that. You're too much of a warrior to let that bother you. Besides, you don't even know if it's true.
But at StarClan, it's not. I couldn't live with myself if I was a kitty pet.
Get some sleep, he muttered uncomfortably before laying next to Oakpaw.
Oakpaw frowned, overhearing his brother's words, and then quickly, smiles once, other paw comes.
We need to go to Two Leg Place, he whispered.
He nodded, frowning. Let's go.
He stared at the thunder path. It seemed silent for now. You ready?
Hey, ready.
There's a cat. His fur rose.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
He pushed past Oakpaw, intent on getting an answer for Birchpaw. No such thing. The two cats caught her eye, moving along the ground. Hello? His voice cracked. She quickly freaked, leaping to her paws with a sharp gasp. Cassie dove down from the fence, sprinting away as quickly as she should in alarm. Wait! He yelled. She stumbled, huffing and panting out in excite. She fell, he meowed, worried. Are you okay? She took a moment to register their voice, the cat's voice. She whimpered softly, pulling herself to her paws. You? She turned around for a moment, eyes wide in surprise. No, it wasn't. It couldn't have been. Sorry to invade. He glanced back towards the forest. Oh, dearie me, I'm alright. She quickly perked up once the initial fright faded.
Oakpaw watched the two interact as he began chewing on the random herb he found.
Cassie smiled. No, it's quite alright. I'm used to wildcats visiting. You are? He tilted his head. Oakpaw, be respectful! She hesitated. I am Cassie. She almost dreaded asking, but she needed to know. And you two? Alderpaw and Oakpaw of ThunderClan. He seemed proud. We were looking for something, I think. They had such similar fur. Their colors reminded her of, well, her. She froze. Alder? Oak? Cassie let her jaw fall open for a moment. Do you have a brother, by chance? Her brows furrowed together.
How did you know?
Birchpaw? He blinked. How? His voice trailed off. She felt her heart beat increment tenfold. It couldn't be them, but standing right in front of her, it looked like she was growing closer and closer to the truth. Cassie tried to search for a reply to give, something that wouldn't give her away, but she couldn't find anything. Opting for her only option, she let the tears slowly fill her eyes. A mother could never forget. He seemed oblivious for a moment. You know our mother? But I think I know her well. She nervously took a step forward. You can know her too, if you'd like.
Are you our mom?
She looked at Oakpaw, warmth swirling in her deep, forced green eyes. I am. Elderpaw flinched. Was this supposed to be a moment of embrace? He didn't really want to move. She reached out 2 paws, gently touching Oakpaw and Elderpaw's cheek with them. He flinched at the touch. Your fur, she sniffed, barely unable to hold another flood of tears, just as soft as when you were a newborn. Birchpaw's going to be furious. It's all he could think about. I hoped you'd one day find me, she purred, unable to hold back the pure joy in her meow. You two are already looking so strong. I knew you'd make great warriors. He had a hard time sharing that feeling. He was just more confused.
Why did you leave us?
He settled down next to Oakpaw. Cassie paused at the question, her ears slowly pinning back to her head. She glanced down at her paws. It's a bit of a story. You see, you threw her my first litter. I fell sick not long after giving birth to you. Cassie felt tears fill her eyes again. Oh, I was so happy when I first saw your 3 tiny faces, but it wouldn't last long. I couldn't produce enough milk to feed you 3. I was growing more ill by the day. She dropped down into a crouch, ashamed in her retelling. She wished they could just understand all at once, everything she had been through to make this choice. A ThunderClan patrol came by, and I made a rash choice. We aren't mad at you. He hoped he could speak for Oakpaw too. We're happy in ThunderClan. She wiped a few tears with her shoulder. Really? She perked up a bit. I'm so happy to hear that. Cassie breathed. They said you'd make great warriors. I never doubted that one bit. She hopped back up onto her paws, tail held high in hopes they would let her embrace them again, to feel them, her babies, against her fur one more time after so long. He was trying to see how Oakpaw felt, but he was unreadable. Maybe Elderpaw was too stuck in his own emotions. He stayed put, uncomfortable. Cassie flicked her gaze between the 2 siblings, clearly trying to read them, and growing more unconfident as the seconds lingered. I'm still your mother. Maybe now that you know that, you can accept me back into your life?
Opa slowly padded forward, embracing his mother in an awkward hug.
She let out a gasp. He looked away, uncomfortable. It took her a moment to register the embrace, but she swiftly wrapped her front paws around Oakpaw, pulling him close into her soft chest. We need to leave, he blurted. But they had just arrived. She had just seen her kittens in, 6 long moons? Are you sure? Cassie asked, her voice a whisper as she turned to look back at Elderpaw.
He slowly backed away, grouping with Elderpaw again.
The clan expects us. The sun is still high. She offered a meek smile, hoping they'd accept her invitation to stay a bit longer. Oh, she let her ears droop. Well, that's okay. I understand, my loves. Cassie got to her paws. Sorry. He wanted to call her mother, but it just didn't come out. Goodbye. Please travel safe. Visit again soon, okay? She took a step up to them. Let's go, Oakpaw. He turned away, not noticing her advance. He shook the scent of kitty pet off his pelt. He didn't know what to think. Wow, hello. You smell of kitty pets. We were at the Thunder Path, he shot back. Pale ran up, not a step of hesitation as she swiftly wrapped his head around Alder's body. Why did no one tell us our mother is a kitty pet, he hissed, stepping back from Pale. He looked confused. The Tom barely even knew the apprentice nor his siblings until that day. His eyes grew larger. How many of you knew? He was fighting tears.
Birch rushed over at the sight of his siblings. Where were you guys? I was worried sick about you.
He seemed to light up when he saw Birchpaw. We got an answer to your question.
You did?
About our mom.
She's dead, isn't she?
Would that make a difference? He winced. We went to RiverClan first, but we didn't find anything. But then you mentioned what your mentor said about being a kitty pet.
Birchpaw froze. He was watching the puzzle form in front of him and didn't like it one bit. No.
She's nice, he hesitated.
No, this can't be. She isn't. She can't be.
It doesn't change who you are, Birchpaw. He stepped forward.
You guys should have stayed there. Why come back? Why burden me like this? I'm never going to be the great warrior. I'm never going to be the brother you guys deserve.
Oakpaw looked down. I wanted to stay, he mumbled.
Elderpaw looked over at him, surprised.
Overcome with rage at the thought of his brother actually choosing the life he resented, Birchpaw growled and shoved his brother a little bit too hard. No, you don't!
No! He screeched, hearing a thud.
Wait, no!
What did you do? He screamed, staring back at Birchpaw.
Oakpaw, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to.
Oh, God. He leapt down to his brother, horrified. He nosed his brother, trying to assure he was still breathing. StarClan!
Mom? Oakpaw whimpered in pain.
Her ears swerved back in alarm. Oh, StarClan. He landed in the bushes, but it was still a hard fall.
His mind wasn't functioning properly, just tears and failure fears filling his brain as he came to terms with what he did.
I'll take him back to the medicine den. I'll see what I can do from there. She carefully slunked under the apprentice, pushing him gently onto her back. He lay with his head on Oakpaw's side, whining.
Oakpaw laid in the nest, wincing in pain.
She analyzingly applied the poultice, concerned swelling in her.
Oakpaw was covered in twigs and leaves, his pelt covered in scratches from the branches he fell through. Oakpaw began to blink himself awake.
Oakpaw? His ears perked.
What happened? Oak asked, confused. He tried to move, but the pain stopped him as he winced.
Birch shoved you off the ledge. An accident, I think.
Oh.
He shifted, adjusting how he was laying. You said you wanted to leave.
Oak nodded quietly.
We'd be okay if that's really what you want.
Birchpaw didn't seem to be okay with it. He buried his head into his paws.
You nudged Oakpaw. You will handle it just fine. He sighed, giving Oakpaw a lick on the head and stepping over him in search of Birchpaw.
Birch looks at his brother. Both their eyes tired. How is he?
Fine. He avoided adding the no thanks to you.
His ears twitched at the coldness in his brother's tone. I don't know what happened.
Be as physical as you want. You're not going to stop him from doing what he wants.
I didn't mean to. He realized his words did nothing to repair his brother's bones.
He stared numbingly. Birchpaw. You need to figure it out. It's hard to look at him. If Oakpaw leaves, we're all each other will have. Do you really want to ruin that?
He'd pause, not knowing what to say next, but words still came out as tears flowed uncontrollably. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been such a horrible older brother. I don't even know what to do next. I don't know how to repair this. I don't know what to do. What do I do? He'd stare at his brother, pleadingly.
Be there for him, he said simply. It wasn't that easy, but it's the most he could do.
He'd pause, wishing there was some instant fix to this, but knowing deep down that time was the only ailment. Yeah, you're right. The tears slowed.
I'll come get you when he's ready to leave. You'll get to see her, too.
Okay. He didn't know what else to say, but knew it was indeed the only thing he could do.
He nodded and left, slow on his paws. He walked into the den, placing the stick next to Oakpaw.
I think I want to leave ThunderClan, he muttered.
Rightfully so, the words pained him. How healed are you?
He tried to move his back leg, but couldn't. I think I'm okay enough.
He nodded hesitantly, not willing to argue. It's possible he didn't even feel safe here anymore. Birchpaw wants to come with us.
Oakpaw flinched at the mention of Birchpaw.
He just wanted to be there for you, is all. To see you go.
He nodded, not saying a word.
He stood hesitantly. Meet me near the exit when you're ready. I'll gather Birchpaw. He's ready to go.
Okay, let's go. A calmness in his voice.
You see that cat?
Yeah. He'd squint in the distance, seeing an oddly familiar form.
He nodded, heading further down to the path. He rubbed against Oakpaw's side with a purr, but it was laced in sorrow.
Oakpaw embraced his brother. I'm sorry, he mewed.
He'd watch the affection and hope one day he could regain that with his brothers.
He nuzzled him. You alright? I'll see you again.
Oakpaw nodded, crossing the quiet thunder path.
Oakpaw,
Oakpaw stared at Birchpaw.
you're gonna do great things. And give a slight smirk.
Oakpaw nodded. He didn't know how to respond to his brother, the one that broke his leg.
Birch watched, wishing he could say more.
We'll be okay, he insisted.
Yeah. We will be.
Really quickly, before this video starts, I want to say that the topic of this video can be upsetting to some viewers. This roleplay contains depictions of animal death, injury, and poisoning, as well as scenes that can be read as abuse that can be triggering to some viewers. There are timestamps on the screen that tell you where to skip if you want to avoid this scene. Otherwise, please enjoy roleplaying with an evil mentor. Freckle sat next to Meltkit, admiration in their eyes as they looked up to Macawstar. Do you think today is the day? Freckle leaned over to Meltkit, whiskers flicking as she spoke.
Maybe. Either way, I am excited. He meowed at Freckle.
Freckle nodded, entirely ignoring the new deputy being chosen. Obviously their priorities were on becoming an apprentice. As well as this new change in leadership, the clan's progress in developing skilled warriors continues. Meltkit, Freckle step forward. Yes! Freckle cheered to themselves as they sat next to Meltkit. You have reached the day of your 6th moon, and it's time for you to become apprentices.
He would get excited, his heart jumping.
Meltkit, from this day onward until you earn your warrior names, you'll be known as Frecklepaw and Meltpaw. Brambletuft, he continued. Oh boy. The Tom visibly flinched at the call of his name. I trust you will be able to pass on your skills to young Meltpaw, he dipped his head.
His ears flicked at the mention of that name, eyes tracking the other warrior.
Frecklepaw's eyes flicked over to the Dark Warrior, curious.
When his name was called, he looked up, dipping his head. Yes, Macawstar.
May your trainings go well, and may StarClan assist in your journey, he nodded to the new apprentices. Frecklepaw hopped cheerily onto their paws and right up to Slatemane.
He lowered his head to gently touch noses with his small apprentice. His eyes seemed slightly worried, but immediately the expression vanished.
Frecklepaw bonked their nose clumsily against Slatemane's, giving off a purr of excitement.
This would be his first apprentice, and Slatemane would make sure that Frecklepaw would become a great warrior.
Can we train alongside Meltpaw and Brambletuft? Frecklepaw appeared hopeful, unaware of any tension on the air. Brambletuft didn't add anything after that, glancing Slatemane's way, clearly waiting for the other warrior's input.
His ears flicked at that request, and he refused to look over. As is customary, let's get a look around the territory first, he said.
Okay, Frecklepaw lifted her head, not disappointed by the response. It was reasonable, she felt. We'll walk the same path, Brambletuft grumbled, chiming in as he glanced to Slatemane. We might as well do it together.
His tail lashed briefly before he dismissively nodded. Follow, all of you. It was best not to cause a scene, not here.
Frecklepaw followed with a skip in their step. Frecklepaw stood tall, the grass nearly taller than them.
Wow, look at the grass. Melt was somehow fascinated.
What's over that hill over there? I hear water. Frecklepaw tilted their head.
Here's where we hunt rabbits and other prey, he added.
He let his apprentice take in what Slatemane had to say before adding himself. Over the edge is the gorge. Frecklepaw's eyes shined at Brambletuft's answer, clearly looking past Slatemane to do so.
Let's take a look so you know how dangerous it can be. Frecklepaw, stay behind, he advised. We can look, but I don't want you to fall.
Okay. Frecklepaw's tail swept over their ankles as they waited.
The rushing got louder as they closed in.
Whoa! The rushing water reflected in the young cat's eyes. This is it?
He had to raise his voice to be audible. This is the gorge! You don't want to get distracted when hunting, and fall in here!
Frecklepaw nodded, first standing on end despite being in awe of the sight.
Behind the waterfall is the bridge that leads to into River Clan territory, he said, then turned away from the cliff. There in the distance you can see the barn. He nodded forward, past a couple sparse trees ahead of them.
Frecklepaw squinted to see the shape of the two-leg structure.
Over there in the far distance you can see the high stones. They harbor the mother mouth in which the moonstone rests. He nodded. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, she nodded. Do you think Weeping Paw has been to the Moonstone already? Frecklepaw looked over. He'd only been a medicine cat apprentice for a few moons.
I'm not sure. As far as I know, Owlburst should have taken him there at the Half Moon Gathering.
That's so cool, Frecklepaw murmured.
Okay, stay close, he murmured. The roaring of monsters already audible.
Frecklepaw stepped to the side, nearly brushing against Slitemane.
That sound and that smell, he explained. It's called the Thunder Path. Monsters roam on it. You're never, ever allowed to go near it.
Why not? Frecklepaw stepped forward slightly just to see it a bit better, trying to find the danger.
Stop! He suddenly roared, stepping in front of the apprentice. You need to listen to me. It is dangerous. Never, listen to me. Never will you get near it.
Okay, fine, they squeaked, shooting a glance at Meltpaw warily to see if they'd seen that.
He glared at Brambletuft. Cats get killed on the Thunder Path.
Brambletuft stopped, glancing over his shoulder to meet Slitemane's gaze. He hesitated for a moment. I never said they didn't.
I'm gonna walk away. Purposefully.
He would glance at Frecklepaw.
He let out a deep sigh, padding towards the last location for the day. Alright, let's get wrapped up. Down in that hollow is where we gather and meet the other clans on a full moon, he said. His anger seemingly vanished completely.
I bet Weepingpaw has been there too. Frecklepaw looked over at Slitemane. When's the next gathering?
The last gathering was only a few nights ago, so it won't be for another moon, he said apologetically.
I'm sure I'll be ready then, they nodded optimistically.
The sun is setting soon, he said, nodding. Let's get back to camp. We made it through the entire territory in one day. I'm sure you're tired. He nodded. Make sure you get something to eat and then rest. Tomorrow, I want to teach you how to hunt.
Okay. Frecklepaw stopped cleaning for a moment to reply, looking around camp in search of Meltpaw or Weepingpaw. Owlburst? Frecklepaw piped.
Weepingpaw heard Frecklepaw and lit up.
Are you busy? Frecklepaw padded up a bit towards Weepingpaw.
Owlburst was testing me on my herb knowledge, Weepingpaw replied. But I got all of them right, he said proudly.
Nice! Frecklepaw lifted her head. I got to see the territory today. We covered all of it in one day. I must be really good at walking.
I hope you're good at walking, Weepingpaw joked. I would need you as my herb gatherer when you become a warrior.
I'd do it even if I was terrible at it, Frecklepaw snorted, looking up to see the sun had set. I'll see you tomorrow.
He looked up through the medicine den ceiling. It is getting late. Good night, Frecklepaw. Weepingpaw gave a smile.
Frecklepaw dipped her head before padding out quickly, heading towards the apprentice den. Hi, Frecklepaw whispered as they settled in next to Meltpaw. There were so many apprentices.
He would hear Frecklepaw. Oh, hi. He was surprised they sat next to him.
It's very crammed, Frecklepaw complained, though their tone was still kind. I'll be hunting tomorrow with Slitemane, Frecklepaw added as they put their head down. Frecklepaw saw the light seep into the apprentice den. She sat up and stretched. It was weird to be in this den instead of the nursery. Slitemane.
Bright and early, Slitemane padded over to the apprentice den. Frecklepaw, it's time for training. He gestured towards the entrance. I hope you rested well, he purred gently.
Yeah, Frecklepaw eventually replied, distracted by the moor.
Open your mouth, take in all the scents. Tell me what you can smell, he instructed.
Frecklepaw parted their maw, tasting the air. This part of the territory is more humid because of the waterfall, she said, closing her eyes to try and get more detail. Lots of rabbits, but there's other prey too, just not as many.
Close your eyes, he said gently. Can you smell the clan cat?
Lots of cats, they added. Patrols haven't been sent yet.
He dipped his head in approval. Very good. Now, the first and most important lesson to remember when hunting in the moor is that you need to be aware of the wind, he started explaining. If you have the wind in your back, the prey smells you before you even get the chance to smell it. He looked down to them. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, Frecklepaw nodded. It's like sneaking up on a kit in the nursery.
He chuckled softly. Except there's no wind in the nursery. He tilted his head. Why don't we try to find some prey now?
Sure, Frecklepaw squeaked, standing.
Can you tell me what direction the wind is coming from? He asked, eyes glinting in the sunlight.
Since it's so humid today, I want to assume the wind is blowing from the direction of the gorge. It's blowing the mist towards us.
He nodded. That's right. This means we need to go towards the barn for prey today. There, he mumbled, nodding towards the rabbit. Stay low until the last moment, he explained.
Frecklepaw's pupils widened as they crouched down, firmly planting their paws against their earth. They started to slowly creep forward.
Slowly, he advised.
They continued, but at the last moment slipped off the dew in the grass, hitting the ground next to the rabbit. Frecklepaw shook the loose grass off her pelt. Sorry.
His whiskers flicked. A good attempt, he noted, looking at the apprentice. Your tail was lashing, he then said, tilting his head. And you were too focused on the rabbit, that's why you slipped.
They nodded, the scent of another rabbit wafting over them.
Watch me, he mumbled.
Nice.
With a clean leap, he pinned the rabbit and swiftly killed it.
Their eyes were wide. That was amazing.
Sometimes it's more important to be careful than to be quick. He nodded at them. Your attempt was very good for the first day.
Could I take that rabbit to Meltpaw?
His ear flicked. Elders, queens, and kits need to be fed before everyone else, he reminded them. Once they have eaten, you and Meltpaw can have your share.
She nodded, slightly disappointed. She wanted Meltpaw to have that one. Okay.
He returned to camp with her. Maybe you can see if one of the elders wants this.
Skunkshade, Mousestep, Frecklepaw pushed their way into the den. She turned her attention to the young cat. Could either of you go for a rabbit? Their tail flicked. A rabbit would be amazing right now. I could, but would you prefer it, Mousestep? There's enough for you to share. Frecklepaw placed it down between the two elders. Enjoy it. I can wait a while longer, but I am thirsty. I can get you some moss with water, Frecklepaw offered. Thank you, she'd meow. Are you busy?
Just a bit. I gotta put herbs away.
Weeping Paw.
Weeping Paw's ears perked excitedly, seeing his friend. Hi, Frecklepaw.
Skinksharp wanted some water. Could I have some moss? They spoke with a purr.
Weeping Paw turned around to look for moss. You know how to gather water with the moss, right?
Yeah, Frecklepaw blinked, but I wouldn't mind if you showed me again.
Weeping Paw turned around, nodding. He flicked his toe to point attention to the nearby medicine den water. It's fairly easy, he started. You just gently dab the moss against the water and it soaks it up. Just don't try to get too much water or it might become too soggy. Weeping Paw jokes before demonstrating. He passed the moss to Frecklepaw. I guess you don't have to water it since I just did it for you, he chuckled.
I suppose not. Frecklepaw gave Weeping Paw a friendly nod before taking the water to the elder. Frecklepaw padded into the den, placing the moss simply next to Skunk and leaving it as to not interrupt. It's EP time. Did you learn anything cool today?
Well, I mean, not really, he said.
I took a tumble trying to hunt a rabbit, Frecklepaw snorted. You should have seen it.
He would chuckle. I pinned my mentor down. It was fun.
Wow, Frecklepaw's eyes lit up. I think we're doing battle training tomorrow. All we did today was hunt. How do you feel about your mentor? Frecklepaw stretched out a bit. Everyone seems to look at him weird.
Well, there's something, he replied.
Something you know? Frecklepaw prodded.
It's just... I can't explain it, but it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, Frecklepaw nodded. It'll be okay. I'm sure cats just have opinions.
What about your mentor? He changed the tables to Frecklepaw.
Frecklepaw saw the sky start to lighten. Had they been talking all night? He seems rough, but I've only seen him be nice so far. She sat up to clean her pelt.
Wow, did the sun come up already? He was shocked and tired.
I'll see you later. Frecklepaw tiredly padded out of the den.
He glanced at Frecklepaw. You seem... He tilted his head. Rough.
That's rude, Frecklepaw teased, trying to seem awake.
He huffed. Find Milkpaw and Brambletuft. We're training together today, he said.
Okay. Hey. Slatemane said we're all training together today.
Really? He was super excited.
I think so. Through his silence, Brambletuft managed to catch on to every other word his clanmates were muttering. Let's go before it gets too late.
He waited patiently until the three of them arrived. Let's get going. I want to teach them the basics of combat today.
Lose your tense, Bramble. It'll be okay. He assured it.
He sat, ready to explain. Firstly, it's important to keep tabs on your opponent's most important weapons.
Don't lose sight of them, he chimed in, or they get the upper hand.
He bared his teeth. The fangs. He then unsheathed his claws. And claws.
You're supposed to practice without claws? He stood, ready to demonstrate if needed. The buff Tom got to a quick crouch, just like how he had shown to Meltpaw.
He would watch closely.
He glanced at Frecklepaw. Yes. He then sheathed his claws. I was demonstrating the deadliness of a warrior's weapons.
You won't use your claws for this exercise, he told them both.
Make sure you don't ever leave yourself exposed to an attack by teeth or claws. He closed in on Brambletuft. A cat will go for your legs or your neck. He pointed a paw in the areas on Brambletuft, without actually touching him.
Brambletuft remained still, eyes focused on Slatemane's frame. He involuntarily flexes his muscles, claws unsheathing for a moment as he does so, a silent warning.
Keeping intense eye contact with the other warrior, gesturing for him to stand. Stand up. I want to demonstrate how easily balance can be tripped.
Why me? Were you going to ask my permission first? Brambletuft scoffed, but obeyed anyway.
You want the apprentices to learn best they can, don't you? He returned, his eyes squinting slightly.
His lips parted back in a mix of a sneer and a smile. Of course, go on and do it then.
Watch, he advised the two apprentices, before acting as he spoke. First you swipe. He lifted a paw to swipe from the right, but then in the last moment spun around and swept the legs out from under Brambletuft.
He let out a sharp huff, the air catching from his lungs for a moment before he quickly composed himself, hopping swiftly back onto his paws, and back into a crouch, as if readying for another attack. The move was clearly unexpected. Slatemane had gotten fast. Once back up to his paws, Brambletuft shook the dirt and seeds that clung to his thick fur.
Slatemane had no intentions to follow up. Catching your enemy by surprise is your biggest tool.
Frecklepaw listened, eyes focused on the two, though she was half asleep. Don't let them pin you, he added in. Whatever you do, it will always give them an upper hand. He sat again, his eyes focused on Slatemane this time. Are they ready? He muttered lowly to him.
He nodded at the addition of the other warrior. Bite their legs, tail, or neck if you get the chance.
Brambletuft's eyes remained pinned on Slatemane up until the point where the Grey Warrior sat, then he drew his attention back to the two apprentices.
I want you two to fight. Keep your claws sheathed, and don't bite with force, he advised.
Frecklepaw lowered their posture, tail sweeping and stirring up the sand.
He would make the first attack by running to them and trying to pounce on them.
Frecklepaw slipped to the side, barely missing Meltpaw's force as the other apprentice landed where Frecklepaw had been standing.
He watched in silence, noting every movement the apprentices made.
They reared up and shoved their front paws against Meltpaw's side, trying to push them off balance.
He would almost get pushed off balance, but managed to get out of the way instead.
Frecklepaw snapped her jaws at Meltpaw in a playful taunt. She hopped forward, batting the apprentice's face with sheathed claws.
He would get hit and backed up a bit. He would pounce on Frecklepaw unknowingly.
Slatemane was laser focused on the fight. He was waiting for Frecklepaw to finally use her speed for something.
Frecklepaw felt their legs buckle under them. They tried to roll to bat at Meltpaw, but just ended up exposing her belly and falling onto her back.
I win! He had took this as a victory.
Squinting, his fur stood up. Kick his stomach, he growled.
Frecklepaw hesitated, but shoved her back paws into Meltpaw's belly harshly.
Follow up, he ordered her. Bite his ear.
What? No, that would hurt. Ow! He was pushed back.
Frecklepaw hopped onto Clumsy Paws, darting over and nipping at the apprentice's ear with hesitant temperament.
Hey, that's not funny, he meowed.
He snapped his jaws together, almost as if trying to animate her to bite harder.
Dodge, don't let them get close until you collect your bearings, he shouted his own advice, now that Slatemane was so blatantly giving his. Instead of biting harder, Frecklepaw just pulled on Meltpaw's ear, essentially chewing on him.
He would use force to let go.
Brummeltuff felt himself relax a bit. The fluffed up fur along his back lay flat again. Maybe he had nothing to worry about. Frecklepaw didn't seem to be out to win it like Slatemane was.
He scoffed. All right. He seemed disappointed.
Frecklepaw yawned, shaking the sand from her fur.
That was a nice fight. He was unsure about the whole fight.
Good job, Meltpaw, Brummeltuff praised. I'd say you did well.
Thank you. I am the best, he said jokingly.
He looked at Frecklepaw. I want to speak with you. He completely disregarded the other Toms.
She shot a glance at Meltpaw before following.
He laid his gaze on her. You were distracted, he said. Why?
I didn't sleep well, Frecklepaw shifted. Meltpaw was worried about Brambletuft.
His eyes squinted more. Getting a little roughed up is part of a warrior's life, he scoffed. You need to give it your all, or you will never be a strong warrior.
Sorry, she looked down. It's hard to want to hurt a clanmate.
You need to remember that a fight can happen at any time, he reminded them. For both you and Meltpaw, he shook his head. With sheathed claws, the damage you'll do is manageable.
Yes, Slatemane. Frecklepaw nodded, longing for her nest.
I want you to practice your speed. You're nimble. The first dodge you did was good, he sneered. It was about the only part of that fight that was worth being remembered.
Frecklepaw nodded. I need to use that more then. It was clear she was having a hard time focusing on the conversation.
Now rest up, he dismissed her. You're no use if you can't keep your eyes open.
Frecklepaw lay down in the nest, falling asleep within moments.
He would get up out of the nest and sneak out of camp.
They were long asleep. Frecklepaw stirred. Meltpaw wasn't in the nest. Did he even come to sleep that night? She was too tired to remember. Meltpaw? She called to the half-empty clearing. Any trace of him was stale. Brambletuft! He yawned, but quickly shot up at the call of his name. I couldn't find Meltpaw. He wasn't in his nest last night. What? He blinked. Brambletuft's gaze became blank, distant, but just for a split second before it was masked. We need to find him! Ah, he's probably just out trying to hunt, he snickered. Alright, I'm coming, Kit. He followed the youngster down into camp. I smelt him here. Are you able to track where he went? Brambletuft got down to the ground to catch the apprentice's scent, re-cementing it in his mind. Yeah, it's not too faint. He left midnight, it seems. Let's go, then. Great, Brambletuft grumbled. He's going to be exhausted for training today. Brambletuft followed the scent towards Four Trees before it stopped and took a sharp turn left. Brambletuft felt his paw patch prickle with the telltale signs of anxiety before following them down. Oh. The warrior's body, once held tall and confident mere moments ago, slumped down until it looked like he could barely hold himself up anymore. Frecklepaw threw any sense of danger away as she bolted next to Meltpaw's body. Brambletuft, she wailed. What's wrong with him? A desperate twitching grin made its way to his muzzle. Meltpaw, hey Meltpaw, don't do this to me. No Star Clan, this is twisted. So twisted it can't be true. Meltpaw. The calling of his apprentice's name grew firmer with every step he took. Meltpaw, get up! Brambletuft crouched down beside his limp body. Brambletuft? She looked weakly up at the warrior. He was supposed to know what to do. He let out a sharp gasp as the realization came downing down on him hard. There was no life in Meltpaw's body anymore. His fur had grown cold. Frecklepaw, Brambletuft addressed in an unreadable tone. Frecklepaw placed her nose against Meltpaw's frame, hoping he'd bounce back, but he didn't. He got to his paws, turning away from the scene, clearly unable to bear it any longer. What do we do? We'll bring him back, okay? The twisted smile was still on his face. Back home, to our clan. Back home, they repeated. They slipped under the mangled apprentice and lifted him. It was upsetting how easy it was to do. Frecklepaw shoved her way through the crowd, roughly dropping Meltpaw's body in the clearing. He moved forward to the front of the crowd, not bothering to wash his paws, which was now stained with stale blood at this point. He's gone, Frecklepaw's voice wavered. How? What happened? He turned to Brambletuft. Oh, this had to be a joke. It's too good not to be. His meow came in hushed, shaky whispers. He dipped down to touch his nose to Meltpaw's back. How am I supposed to know? He suddenly screeched at the question. Frecklepaw stepped back, afraid. Brambletuft looked about ready to pounce on the leader, but by some miracle he held himself back. He scowled. "You will lower your tone, Brambletuft," he snapped. "Who was with Frecklepaw when the body was found?" "I was," Brambletuft replied, with another shout, showing his bared fangs. "Then explain," he growled. "You must know something. Starklet above, no one was mentioned where it was found." Frecklepaw barely even noticed Slightmane behind them.
His eyes were pinned on the mangled body. "You lost another apprentice, Brambletuft."
The words rang in Frecklepaw's ears. They couldn't make sense of it, not with the scene in front of them.
"Come on." He animated his apprentice, nudging them with his shoulder. "It won't do you any good to see this any longer."
Frecklepaw flinched when touched. They simply walked away, stepping carefully between the gathered cats to a more isolated space.
This tragedy wouldn't have happened if Meltpaw abided by the code. Distractions get you killed. He shook his head.
I should have seen him leave. Slightmane's words only buffed her insecurity. If I hadn't been, I would have seen.
He didn't deny her statement, only lowered his head in silent agreement.
Frecklepaw dipped their head, breaking away from Slightmane in search of actual comfort. They caught the shape of Weeping Paw above, quickly scrambling to meet him.
Frecklepaw, He paused, looking towards the clearing. "I saw Meltpaw," he mumbled, trying not to think of the image of his fallen friend.
I'm sorry. Frecklepaw leaned fully against Weeping Paw. I was tired and confused. I didn't even notice he left the den last night.
"It wasn't your fault with what happened to Meltpaw," Weeping Paw assured, allowing Frecklepaw to rest against him. "You aren't responsible for if he went out by himself." He spoke formally, not knowing how else to speak.
You need anything, Frecklepaw? She asked politely. Weeping Paw's words rolled over them. It didn't even seem like she heard. She flinched when the warrior spoke. No, thank you. If you need anything, just let me know. I'm always free to talk if needed, she said with a soft voice. Legacy gave a chirping noise as a greeting to Frecklepaw before dropping the flower for Frecklepaw as a comfort type of thing. That's okay, she said to everyone, before dismissing herself from the group. It was too much. She intertwined Legacy's flower into the edge Meltpaw slept against. She'd never touched that part of the nest again. Frecklepaw lay with her head on the edge of the nest. She wasn't sure how much time had passed, or if it was the next day. All she knew is that she could hear Slate calling her from outside.
"Frecklepaw," he requested. "Let's go. Staying in your nest isn't going to make you a warrior." It seemed a little harsh, but Slightmane said it like it was no deal at all.
Quick warning, parts of the following scene include physical abuse towards an apprentice, which could be upsetting to some people. Skip to 30 minutes in the video to skip this entirely. Frecklepaw let out a small noise in agreement before following.
"You need to be able to hold your ground," he said. "Fighting to protect the clan is a warrior's most sacred duty," he said, turning towards her.
Frecklepaw could feel the weakness in her limbs as she positioned herself in front of him.
Countering an attack and seeing the opening after a swipe is a very crucial skill. Without warning, he lunged forward, smacking her on the head with his paw.
Frecklepaw nearly fell forward from the large warrior's blow, backing up with an instinctual hiss before forcing themselves to calm. Okay.
His eyes narrowed. "Use your speed," he challenged, swiping forward again. He kept his attack simple, yet landing a blow would push them back quite a bit. Slightmane was a powerhouse of a warrior after all.
Frecklepaw let herself get shoved a few times before jumping over one of the blows, letting out a growl and jumping onto Slightmane's back to throw him off balance and stop the battering.
He growled and added a "good," he hissed, before rolling over onto his back, threatening to simply crush her under his weight. "Stay moving," he snapped an order.
Frecklepaw quickly slid out from what was nearly under Slightmane, turning on her paws to face him quickly.
A commending look on his face was the only recognition she got before he pounced forward again. He wanted her to feel rushed, panicked, maybe even scared. That would teach them how to handle a real fight.
Frecklepaw looked up in horror as the large cat leapt at her. She wasn't able to react. She unnaturally froze in the face of the attack. She felt the air get knocked out of her as she hit the ground hard.
Pressing the apprentice down, he sneered. "You're never going to be a good warrior if you freeze in the face of danger."
I can't. Frecklepaw let out a cough as the air re-entered her lungs. She was going to say she couldn't get Meltpaw's body out of her mind. It was useless for him to know.
"Get your head out of the mud," he scoffed. "Distraction gets you killed." He stared her down, mercilessly.
Frecklepaw felt anger prick at her pelt, but not a single valid argument came from her. She reared up, accidentally unsheathing her claws and raking them down Slatemane's face in anguish.
He hissed, clearly taken aback from that. That! He started, feeling a small trickle of blood purling down his nose. That was good. He dipped his head.
Frecklepaw panted, barely processing what she did to gain his praise. She felt the warmth leave the sky as the sun started to set behind them.
Let's get back to camp, he nodded.
Frecklepaw followed quietly. Frecklepaw didn't bother to clean the sand off their pelt as they padded to the apprentice den and slid into their nest. It had been a few moons since Meltpaw had died. Frecklepaw wasn't sure how many. The days were blurring into each other, but she did know it was still difficult to sleep through the night. Frecklepaw wanted to sleep under the stars tonight. Maybe it would help her feel closer to Meltpaw. Rubbing the sleep from her eyes, she swore she could see her mentor padding out of camp. She cautiously followed.
Once he closed in, he realized who it was. Brambletuft. A good mentor would give his life for his apprentice. He had 2 chances to do that, and he failed both of them.
He stood still, staring across the thunderpath at the lingering thought of how nice it was. Frecklepaw hid in the brush. Why were both of them out so late?
The dark thoughts resurfaced. This was the cat that killed his brother.
He couldn't say goodbye to Meltpaw then, but maybe he could now.
If StarClan let this cat live, he wouldn't stand for it. Matter had to be in his own paws now. Creeping closer, rage filled him.
Frecklepaw forced herself to stay quiet and watch. Brambletuft breathed a low sigh, unaware of the cat that was creeping in behind him. It was a nice night.
With anger taking over, he pounced onto the other Tom, grabbing him by the scruff of the neck. He would pay tonight.
Brambletuft only had enough time to widen his eyes before the pain set in, sharp and persistent. His legs went numb first, sending him falling hard onto his belly. Is this what Meltpaw felt? Frecklepaw used a paw to force their maw shut as the scene unfolded in front of them, uninterrupted. He couldn't welcome it, nor could he fight back. His claws dug deep into the soil below, but he made no move to shake the tomcat off of his back.
The warrior's neck was much bigger, and therefore this would be a lot messier, but Slatemane didn't care. You deserve the same fate as Colepaw, he growled lowly, making sure that he knew this was revenge for his brother.
Brambletuft could only gasp out in an attempt to speak. His airway quickly cut off. Not that he had anything to say, anyway. Maybe Slatemane was right. Maybe he did.
With his maw full of fur, he raked his claws across Brambletuft's throat. He wanted this warrior's death to be painful.
His brow shot up high, the searing heat spreading from his throat throughout his body. As the adrenaline flooded his blood, his paws flung out beneath him, a desperate attempt to fight back at the last moment, but it was too late. He fell limp to his side, body quivering with shock. He gurgled and coughed, wide eyes staring up at Slatemane as the life drained from his eyes.
Making sure Brambletuft was still conscious, he began dragging the warrior to the thunderpath. Was he scared? Was he scared as you are right now? He hissed, his words trembling with blinding rage.
Frecklepaw let out a terrible shriek as soon as he was too far to hear her.
He dropped the body right in the middle of the monster's path. This is what you deserve, Brambletuft.
They ran back to camp, silenced by fear. Frecklepaw sat in silence, eyes glossed over. Images of what they saw were replaying behind that blank gaze of hers.
Frecklepaw? He mewed to his friend.
Frecklepaw didn't even flinch. There was no movement aside from a subtle shake under her fur and dulled breathing.
Weepingpaw padded closer, pressing his muzzle against Frecklepaw's pelt. Frecklepaw?
Brambletuft is dead, Frecklepaw muttered near silently.
What? Weepingpaw backed up to meet Frecklepaw's tired gaze. Brambletuft?
Frecklepaw swallowed dryly. I'll take you.
Weepingpaw didn't speak, hesitating to follow before padding away with his friend. Darkland, Weepingpaw exclaimed quietly, slowly walking towards the body stuck to the thunderpath.
Frecklepaw didn't dare to go closer.
Weepingpaw hesitated to take a step onto the dangerous path, and ultimately decided not to. He could already see the wounds covering the warrior's body.
Frecklepaw put her head on his shoulder but said nothing.
Weeping Paw held in tears before finally speaking. How did you find him?
I saw it happen, she simply mumbled. Their eyes glanced over at the approaching patrol.
Weeping Paw rested his head. Let's go back to camp. We can talk in the medicine den. The warriors can handle it from here, he assured. Weeping Paw sat in silence thinking. He turned to Frecklepaw, her face filled with dread. Weeping Paw didn't want to speak and bother his friend, but he had questions he wanted answers to. What did you see?
Slatemane killed him. Eventually the words came out. Maybe revenge for not paying attention closely enough to Meltpaw, but he mentioned a cat by the name of Coalpaw before dragging him to the Thunderpath.
Weeping Paw had a look of confusion. Slatemane killed Brambletuft? Coldpaw? He thought to himself, not knowing the mentioned apprentice.
He's gonna kill me. Frecklepaw's voice was nothing more than a shaky whisper.
The words shocked Weeping Paw. He didn't want to believe that a warrior would kill their own apprentice, but he trusted the word of his friend.
There's no way I can act like I didn't see something like that. I don't want to be in his way.
Thoughts of Meltpaw's death came to him. Were they connected? He brushed those thoughts off as Frecklepaw spoke. You aren't safe, Weeping Paw said bluntly. I know a way we can stop him. He looked away.
We can't, she spat. If we tell Makastar, he will know. I can't train with him again, and I can't go out there and see him waiting for me. They could feel themselves starting to panic.
I know a different way to stop him. A way he can't hurt you or any other cat again. Weeping Paw remembered his recent training on identifying poisonous herbs.
Frecklepaw looked away, again. Will he die?
Weeping Paw didn't reply, but his nervous body language already gave away the answer. Slatemane had to die, for the safety of Frecklepaw.
Frecklepaw's judgment was clouded by the mercilessness she saw in Slatemane as he murdered Brambletuft. Come to me when you find what you need to pull this off.
I trust you are a good hunter, Weeping Paw half-joked. I need a rabbit. Join the next hunting patrol, or try and catch one yourself if we don't have one.
Frecklepaw nodded, padding out of the den after hearing what she needed to hear. Frecklepaw's gaze flicked between each cat before finding the familiar gray-colored cat. Hey.
He looked up at the she-cat. Yes? He asked. He seemed so unbothered, and his gaze must have sent chills down Frecklepaw's spine.
I'm gonna hunt for a bit, to get out of camp after everything. They tried to be casual.
His tail flicked. All right. You're old enough to look out for yourself. He agreed.
They nodded, padding away without any formal goodbye. She got the rabbit. It had been killed to kill Slatemane. A soul for a soul, she assumed.
Weeping Paw snapped out of his thoughts as he saw Frecklepaw pad in.
She set the rabbit down, using a careful claw to create a slot under its fur that Weeping Paw could use for the herbs.
Weeping Paw approached the rabbit, taking 2 full red berries into the rabbit. He remembered his mentor's words. Just one of these berries is enough to kill a warrior. We call them death berries.
Once Weeping Paw seemed done, Frecklepaw picked up the hair, carefully only grabbing it by the scruff and not biting into it. Thank you.
He padded over, knowing she had entered a while ago. Did you catch that, the Weeping Paw?
For a moment, Frecklepaw was horrified they'd been caught, but Slitemane's calm tone washed over her. It felt cold. Weeping Paw ate, actually. You can have it.
He purred with approval. I was going to have your warrior test be catching a rabbit. Seems like you're well prepared. He took the rabbit to eat it outside.
Frecklepaw gave a wary glance to Weeping Paw before following at a distance.
Weeping Paw stood behind Frecklepaw, wanting to be with his friend to support her.
He took the rabbit to the clearing, ready to dig in.
She watched from the shelter of the bush, Weeping Paw behind her.
After a couple bites, he relaxed, until suddenly a sharp, painful sting raked down his throat. He licked his maw, trying to get rid of the warm feeling that spread across his neck. A cough stifled out of his maw. What was this?
Something is bothering him, Frecklepaw noted. She felt anxiety well in her.
Weeping Paw looked away, not wanting to see the warrior eat the poisoned rabbit. Until Sleepmate started to cough and choked. He looked at the scene.
Was the rabbit not fresh? He felt himself a wretch, but nothing came. What? He mumbled, worse. Stumbling, he tried to stand up to get back to the medicine den. When he turned, he saw them. What? What is happening?
Frecklepaw winced, seeing their mentor collapse. They were unable to lie to him, not in this state. Deathberries.
His eyes focused on Frecklepaw. Why? He choked, his entire body trembling. He could feel how his limbs grew number.
Weeping Paw looked at Sleepmate, his eyes full of horror, but knew that the warrior deserved this.
A dry laugh came from him as he tried to stand but failed. I did it for you! He retched again, the burning seeming to melt through his neck. They had to die! Maniac gleamed in his gaze.
They? Frecklepaw echoed. Slatemane, what did you do?
Meltpaw, a distraction. Like Dreampaw was to Coldpaw. He chuckled, clearly losing it. Brambletuft. He killed him. He needed to die.
Frecklepaw had a hard time understanding, but it was clear Slatemane had killed Meltpaw, something Frecklepaw had wasted moons blaming themselves for.
He reached a paw to Frecklepaw. Promise, you'll be great, like I always wanted you to be.
Frecklepaw hopped back in a near full-body recoil, flashing a begging look at Macostar to do something.
His eyes unfocused as his last breath crept out of his throat.
She wasn't sure what would come of this. Did they know? Did they know she did this? Her plea at Macostar was one searching for mercy. And perhaps it was the right choice, he mewed, sparing only a light glance of assurance at the young apprentices. Meltpaw and Brambletuft have been avenged. Such a thing deserves gratitude, respect. Frecklepaw, you did this. Frecklepaw looked horrified. Silence! He whipped around with a snap, frustrated at the constant jeering. He then turned around, watching Freckle, seeing what they would say. I did. Frecklepaw shuddered. I saw him kill Brambletuft. He didn't know I followed him. Then, you have done this clan a great service, he turned once more. This young apprentice has destroyed the murderer within our clan, the evil spreading. Frecklepaw, step forward to me, he mewed, quieter. They hesitated. You have given us hope, shown us the strength that can prevail through dark times. I call upon StarClan, upon Meltpaw, Brambletuft, and all others who fell to this wicked cat's claws to join us in spirit and look upon this young savior. You have certainly earned yourself a place amongst history. From this day onward, you'll be known as Frecklefrond, as a sign of your dedication, sacrifice, and great loss you have known. The moonlight fell on Slatemane's grey pelt, cloaking it in silver. Was this regret that she felt? Thank you, she stuttered. No, thank you, he meowed. Their eyes glanced at the gathered cats, chanting the new name. It uncomfortably rang in their ears. Bury him, please. They patted away from the attention. Frecklefrond carefully unwove the wilted flower from the apprentice nest, picking it up in their maw. They carefully made it part of the new nest, her warrior nest. Forever, she mumbled, lying down. I'm gonna pretend over here is like where medicine cats sit. I'm getting rid of this flower, it's annoying me. All cats old enough to run through the moors gather for a clan meeting, he yelled to his clan. There's a squirrel in camp! Melrose chirp sat, not paying any mind to the call. Meetings weren't for medicine cats. I could have picked an easier to say name.
Yeah.
He looked to his fellow clanmates. As you can see, we are without a deputy, he continued, and as per tradition, I must appoint one before moon high. I elect Dimgaze. I like their morph a lot. The Chimera Tomcat let out a soft huff, accompanied by a whispered prayer for their fallen deputy. Yeah, I like this one. What emotion is that?
Wizard hat.
He looked towards dim gaze. You didn't even ask! You senior warrior blinked for a moment, surprised by Thunderstar's gaze, before he stood. Melrose's eyes settled on dim gaze. A fine choice, should they have an opinion on the matter. Dim gaze, he called out proudly. You have done well in being a warrior and serving one clan. I believe you would be a great deputy. As his leader's words registered in Dim Gaze's mind, Daton gave his head a polite dip. I am honored to serve as deputy under you, Tumblestar. Dim Gaze, they were the first to chant. Odd from them. The older Tom swayed his tail, glancing amongst his fellow clanmates before leaping from the cloud and landing square onto his new place beside the leader. Elegant! I know, right? Melrose departed from the group early, feeling that they needed to search for herbs before the sun fell. They intentionally left disrespectfully. They nipped at the stems of the chervil, keeping a tight bundle in their maw as they continued. A spooky cat. They stepped a paw onto the log, staring at the loner with calm eyes. Hello? Magpie froze, staring back at the unfamiliar cat, her orange eyes a stark contrast to the darkening night. Hello. What brings you so far into WindClan territory? They chirped, despite being fairly close to the barn. Magpie anxiously wobbled up the fallen trunk, eyes darting around. Well, I was trying to find food and shelter. Melrose lifted their head. You'd be a brilliant annoyance to Tumblestar, they meowed. Would you like a place to rest? She scanned the cat's figure, questioning her choices and her future in survival. Yes. Come with me then, they said with a turn of their head towards the camp. Wow, that's an entire patrol! But Teo flicked. Go on, I have this handled. Greeting Melrose, glad you're taking care of the loner. They stepped in front of her, Teo flicking in agitation. Go, then. No, we can travel in peace, they said with a sigh, continuing. You're alright, they assured, knowing the clan could be overwhelming. Magpie went with every step, her back aching with pain, her mouth filling with the scent of many cats. Pick a nest. I'll treat your wounds while you get some rest. Don't mind me. They settled behind the unidentified cat, gently treating the wounds. Whoa! Tumblestar, their voice was laced in distaste. Welcome. Melrose chirp! He said, slowly walking into the medicine den, not noticing the loner. I cannot spell face. They fluffed their tail in the loner's face to hush them, walking forward. Have you had any signs from Star Clan? I have this feeling something is coming. Would it be the loner behind you? They replied just as bluntly. Melrose. She's hurt and no older than a kit. They lifted their head. Didn't think you'd object. I wouldn't object if you hadn't snuck them in, he paused, sighing. Tend to them. Once they're fine, we will continue to talk. You were supposed to be sleeping, they scowled. You're supposed to not bring in random cats you find in the forest, he replied, patting away before Melrose could respond. Alright. Do you have any food or herbs? I was declawed. They probably wouldn't mind if I take a few poppies. I absolutely do mind! It's small, but too much food quickly will upset your stomach. You can eat more in the morning. Melrose's whiskers flicked as they thought to themselves. Stay here for now, I'll figure out the drama. I see you're doing leader things. No! I'm gonna pretend that it went through. I hope you don't mind that I fed the 7-moon-old intruder. You fed the loner. Oh, sorry, you fed the loner? The kit, they corrected modestly. Would you expect a newly made apprentice to fend for themselves? They tilted their head. What mighty expectations you have, Tumblestar. Ha, he said duty. A loner is an extra mouth to feed, one that won't hunt for us. And you know that how? Melrose tilted their head. Or are you upset because you don't hunt and now there's another slacker around? I will not allow our clan to starve because you brought in a kit without my knowledge. It's my job as a medicine cat to treat the injured. What happens after that is your call. He flicked his tail in dismissal. And how recovered is this loner? She doesn't have claws. I can't fix that. She will be in pain for the rest of her life. See if a two-leg would care for them. If they can't claw, they can't fight. If they can't fight, surely they can't hunt. I cannot be a proper warrior. Then tell the clan you're turning away a defenseless cat out of fear our warriors cannot spare a mouse or two. He ignored the comment. Well, I have to go tend to the slacker activities and actually lead the clan. Go do what you're supposed to do and take care of that loner. Wise choice. Come sit with me, Melrose gestured towards the exit. That is Tumblestar, the clan's leader you were so rudely introduced to. Oh, that feline? She murmured softly, eyes narrowing as the side of the arrangement. So that's what's happening? What's it like being a treatment cat? Fine, they scratched their fur. Wasn't what I wanted, but things don't always work out. What happened? What did you want to be, leader? They croaked. What is going on up there? I'm having lore! She tilted her head, her eyes widening with surprise at acknowledgement. Why did you have to become a medicine cat? Long story. It's part of why Tumblestar gets on my nerves so badly. Oh, well, when you got the time, you mind telling me? Sure, but not now. It's late. They nodded, eyes wide with curiosity and wonderment, before glaring at the sky, which rain started to pour. You may sleep in my den still, until you're sorted out. Thanks. With one look at the rain in her short-furred- Oh, okay, bye. Tumble dab me up! What is this? Why does this keep happening? Hello, Sparrow Marsh, he nodded. Melrose looked over with interest. I'm gonna very ominously sit on the other side of this bush. I didn't mean to turn like that. They listened. You know, this would be a really cool drawing of Melrose sitting on the other side of the bush, listening to them talk. Sparrow Marsh, he cleared his throat. How are you handling the rain? He said, blinking the rain from his eyes. Melrose heard the friendliness in Tumblestar's tone. It was infuriating. They were never greeted with such kindness. No, your deputy! Your deputy's getting involved! Melrose didn't seem to notice him approach. Out in the rain, he hummed, matter-of-factly, noticing the distant look in their eyes. Aren't you cold? Melrose's ears swiveled backwards. No? They lied. The rain is nice, except when it gets like this. Dim gaze might be a problem, methinks.
No, not my boy.
Dim gaze gave his head a tilt, clearly amused despite the blank stoic expression on his face. Really now? Share your secrets, because I am freezing. Melrose was more interested in what they had heard. An opportunity, maybe, to show Tumble what they could do with the power he gave them. Something meant to keep them controlled. He nodded, getting a bit annoyed by the rain covering his fur. Gonna dry off for a bit. Good talk. They slid in next to Sparrow Marsh. Is he usually so kind to you? They chirped innocently. Ah, nice to see you, Melrose chirp. And, I don't know. I don't speak to him that often, I don't think. The words went right through Melrose's ears. Do you want some shelter from the rain? In my den, perhaps? They sniffed Sparrow Marsh, searching for an excuse. I can get you something to help your pelt look better. I forgot what I said. Oh, that's very kind. Sure, I suppose. Sparrow Marsh's smiled, shaking a few raindrops from her pelt. Perfect. It's this herb. It helps with the oils in your pelt. Lets it lay smoother. I'll show you. Find a nest or just sit anywhere if you'd like. Their tone was laced with a forced purr. No! They put down the Frankenstein herb. I'm certain I didn't spell that right. For your pelt, they reminded. Melrose didn't seem to care what they were doing. All they saw in Sparrow Marsh was an opportunity for revenge. Opportunity spelled incorrectly. It's gradual, they looked over. Your coat will grow stronger and more slick. It's like a change of diet, but an added herb instead. They give Sparrow a side eye. They should be writhing by now. That's interesting. What herbs did you use? It hurts? Ow, ouch, I don't know what to say. Melrose glanced over, finally. What was that? Sparrow Marsh? They forced a shaky tone. They writhe in pain, suffering as they curl up to try and make it stop. Ah! Okay, I feel bad. What's happening to her? I don't know, I didn't think cats could be allergic to herbs. They patted helplessly on the back of Sparrow's back. It was just Juniper! Their eyes went dull. Tumble would need to know. How? They didn't think that far ahead. Her breathing became shaky and pained. Ah. Until I find out what caused this, tell nobody. The clan will be sent into panic if they find out an herb killed a cat. I've just traumatized the cat I wanted to be my apprentice. Tumblestar, they squealed. In front of everybody. Sparrow Marsh is dead. There was pure panic in their eyes, but from what? I don't know. After you spoke with them last night, they came in my den with an ache, and... Where are they now? In my den still, with Magpie. We'll speak to you after this meeting. Wow! They bit into Sparrowmarsh's scruff, silently pulling them out into the clearing. They waited for Tumble. They wanted to see the pain in his eyes. Are you... Where did you go? Oh, hi! They looked for any sign of emotion in Tumble's gaze. Quiet distaste running through her veins, only to be replaced with silence. I made this cat hate you. Tumble stares at the lifeless cat, holding back tears to maintain a strong appearance for his clan. I'm sorry, Melrose lifted their head. Oddly, they were trying to be comforting. Before Sunhigh. You not crying here is gonna make Melrose extremely mad, by the way. Or, okay, never mind. We'll sit in vigil. We shall bury them in the morning, he said before opening his tear-filled eyes. How do you spell demeanor? Attitude. Melrose wasn't pleased with the response. Their entire attitude seemed off. They gestured towards their den. Let's leave Tumble to mourn. I'll tell you that story I mentioned. They shook out their fur, decompressing. Okay, so. When I was an apprentice, I wanted to be everything. The best warrior, deputy, and leader after that. I did everything I could to be the best, even if, they shrugged, I accidentally hurt the other apprentices trying to beat them to their prey. It was recklessness, but nothing harmful. They seemed like they were convincing themselves. But Tumblestar didn't see it that way. He was infuriated. He knew what I wanted. He swore I would never be leader, and forced me to end my warrior training to become a medicine cat. They looked so shocked. She gasped. He can do that? He can and he did, they nodded. That's why we've been at each other's throats. He knows what he did, trapping me in here. Magpie's eyes softened in understanding, the hate for Tumble deepening in her veins. Something amused them about Magpie being angry. It was nice to not be alone. It's almost day now. They looked out into camp. They must have begun the burial. I need to get out and find some herbs, they mumbled to themselves. Find something to occupy yourself with, Magpie. Or rest if you'd like. Hi!
Help me! Help me!
Oh,
Help
wow.
me!
I'm out of here, dude. Melrose stared out past the path, near Mothermouth. It irked them. Man, I hate that StarClan exists. I was walking around after eating a nice meal, recalling the burial. It was quite something, but so was Tumblestar. Wow, I began to talk to myself. Tumblestar is so intriguing. I think they're cool. Spiderleaf? They chirped. I can't just... They glared at the cat's proximity to the thunder path. What are you doing out here? Strolling, I grinned. I smelled some rabbits around and got distracted. I heard you speak of Tumblestar. What was that? Oh, just a compliment. I talked to myself, I remarked, unaware. A compliment to that fool. Oh, I've rendered them speechless. Well, I took a step back, a bit nervous. They turned, essentially herding them towards the path with pressuring eyes. How so? Well, you see, before I could continue my nervous ranting, a sudden loud noise roared behind me. I shrieked, turning to see a monster coming at me full speed, and before I could run, it struck. Oh no! They stared. It was a bad omen to trust Tumblestar, clearly. They lifted their chin. A cat would find him, right? Maybe this one would truly hurt Tumblestar. This was an innocent cat, the life of the clan. One could only hope. Man, I feel bad! Hi, I'm here. I've been here this entire time. Oh, I was gonna ask them for an herb patrol, but they're doing a hunting party. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize they stammered. I just need herbs. Not as important as this. He felt his heart race, his heart relax. That's fine. I'll send out a separate patrol soon. Thank you. Take your time. This is anxiety-inducing. I sent somebody after them. Ran over in the bio is crazy. Those herbs, which do you need? Melrose chirped. Doc, Chervil, they thought. Magpie returned, a look of disgust on her face. Sometimes feline got hit by a monster. Okay, no, you just said a cat got hit by a car. We're not talking about herbs anymore. A cat got hit on the Thunderpath? They echoed. Slightly cheering up to talk to the Mezzanine Cat after everything that's happened. You did not hear what just happened.
I did it.
Tumblestar. They gestured for him to follow. They're over here. I think Magpie led us here because they went the wrong way. Oh, hey there! Melrose placed a paw on Tumble's shoulder, trying to usher him away from the path's edge. He ignored Melrose's grasp and slowly walked towards the corpse, tears filling in his eyes as he looked at the horrific scene. He stuttered, not knowing what to say. This is the second warrior he lost in a short time span. Let out a low, quivering breath. This was terrible. It couldn't have been an accident. Melrose eyed a dim gaze. Tumblestar's right-hand cat. Somebody he needed. Uh-oh! We need to get off the path. The clan can't lose their leader. Not like this. What happened? He said to Melrose, not taking his muzzle off the warrior's corpse. Magpie found him. I don't know. They insisted. I'm not- he caught himself shouting before calming himself down a bit. I'm not leaving one of my words to rot on the Thunderpath. This isn't a scene we should bring for kids and apprentices to see, he mumbled, finally breaking down. Melrose's tail flicked over their heels. It wasn't enough. He dug hole. I cried. He found me crying. He crewed too. We crewed.
I got 2 shovels. Happy shoveler, sad shovel.
Bye. Melrose sat, cleaning their fur. The silence was deafening. Why does the leader never hear you meow before shifting your glance at the Queen and Kit? You've been burying people. They gestured towards Tropplepaw. Please take care of White Kit. I think Dimgaze wants to talk with me. They met Dimgaze's gaze across the den. They didn't move. He'd have to approach. Dimgaze sucked in a low breath as their gazes met, before he finally walked over after what seemed like an eternity. I assumed it would be best for us, 2 of us to talk, just one-on-one. He meowed as threatening as possible. I'd like to stay in my den. They seemed uncertain. He didn't like the strange look in their eyes, but he agreed anyway. That'll be fine. Dimgaze took another step forward and Melrose didn't back down. You seem anxious. Melrose inspected him unwelcomingly. These deaths, he began. Stoic expression looking strained. They're strange, to say the least. How so? Melrose shifted. It's tragic, but they didn't seem related. That's the problem. What could be causing this? He waited for a moment before adding. You were the one who found both of the bodies. Could you know something? Melrose shifted. Magpie found Spider, they corrected swiftly. And of course a medicine cat is first to a medical scene. Dimgaze lowered his head, but his eyes never fell from the medicine cat's form. You know something, don't you? You should take some time. Perhaps this would be better discussed while you are calmer. They ignored the statement entirely. Please, Melrose chirped. I'm here. You can talk to me. Dimgaze still couldn't put the pieces together, no matter how wise he was. He looked down at the offered herbs. Deputy hesitated for a moment. Melrose struggled to keep their fur flat. Why wasn't he cooperating? Not until you give me something first, Melrose. Something. Anything. I can't. Melrose tried to ease the panic in their tone. I want to know as bad as you do, Dimgaze. These deaths under Tumblestar. Something isn't right about that. Pitting the blame, as usual. And that you've been acting strange, Dimgaze replied. I don't want to accuse. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just understand. I can barely read that because of the name. They took the item off the shelf. It was intertwined with undetectable nightshade. They placed it down next to Dimgaze's paw. Please calm down. And yet, that argument with Tumblestar, he trailed off in thought. I can't wait until another death happens. The deputy's body was stiff and rigid. This cat was going to ruin everything. Melrose was losing composure. And if any cat would have the power to get away with murder like this, he trailed off again, it would be you. Melrose tensed, their eyes fixed on the cat, nearly with blurry vision. He held their eyes, not backing down as his tail lashed side to side, with a barely contained tension. The words hit them like a stagnant body of water, paralyzing. The only thing Melrose could do was turn around and paw red berries off of the tallest shelf. They turned quickly and aggressively, shoving the pawful into the deputy's maw. Dimgaze flinched back, but didn't move away, too taken aback by this medicine cat's sudden act. He huffed and gasped out in pure shock, trying to spit and choke them out. But alas, the herbs were already taking effect as soon as they hit his tongue, numbing his mouth and seeping down his throat. They stared, cold. Was Tropplepaw still here? They could barely tell. Melrose chirped, he coughed out, frame quivering as he was forced to digest the poison. The words were muffled in their ears. They stepped off when Dimgaze fell limp, shaking. What's going on in here? The juice of the berries was still stuck to their fur. They just sat there, paralyzed. He rushed over to Dimgaze, hovering over his body as he pressed his paws into his side, trying to get them to cough up the berries. He ceased to move. Not a flick of ear or tail, not even the rise and fall of his breath. I didn't mean to kill him. I thought he was gonna spit them out. Melrose uncontrollably wailed. Are you okay, Melrose? Why did you do that to Dimgaze? I didn't. Not a single sentence was coming out right. Melrose slunk around the perimeter of the den. Someone stop Melrose, bring them to me. Uh-oh. Melrose, come back to the leader, don't make this hard. The claws were unsheathed. They stood in defense, hackles up. And then what? Their voice was raspy. You kill me? Tiny let out a low growl. No, of course not. No, we just want to talk. Nobody's killing anyone. That looks pretty killing over there. He turned, staring at Melrose as he approached the cornered medicine cat. Melrose, he whispered, I trusted you. Why? When? They hissed in pure hatred. When would you ever? I trusted you when I appointed you medicine cat, he shouted at his old friend. You did it to punish me, they screeched uncontrollably. You trapped me in here with this garbage, these awful cats that cry all day. I did it to protect you, he hissed. You were too ambitious. You wanted power, not to take care of the clan, but to hurt those that surround you. And look what that got us both, Melrose snarled. You got the glory. I never wanted to be a leader, but it's what the clan needed to thrive, and you murdered all of them. I did it for you, they grinned eerily. No cat would have died if you'd taken care not to get too close. You think I want all these cats dead? He took a deep breath in. I see now that you were never meant to be part of this clan, he sighed and closed his eyes. What a mighty mistake you've made. Melrose, you have one more statement before my warriors drive you out of one clan. Enjoy your glory. They bared their teeth. If I ever see you back in WindClan territory, I will kill you myself, he flicked his tail, signaling for the warriors to drive out Melrose. You're 2 warriors and what is like 4 apprentices over there? Tawny raised a paw, going to swat at Melrose with a hiss. Out. They snapped their teeth, but knew they wouldn't win this fight. They patted lightly on their paws. Are they gonna walk me all the way to the to the barn? Well, this is so sad. Oh wow, and everybody leaves the med den. All cats old enough to run across the moors gather for a clan meeting. He stared at the remaining members of his clan with hidden hopeless eyes. Melrose Sharp has been driven out of WindClan, he announced. They're responsible for the death of 3 cats, he continued. They fed Sparemarsh and Demigus poison berries while leading Spiderleap to the Thunder Path before pushing them towards a monster. I will hold a vigil for the fallen cats, he sighed before continuing. Alright, well... In this video, me and Light are going to be roleplaying as opposites. He'll be playing Sunrise, who is optimistic. He's a bright Tom who sees the good in everything. As a consequence, he is also oblivious to the bad in things, often walking into bad situations in hopes of achieving a positive outcome. I'll be playing Moon, who is the opposite. He's a pessimist and only sees the bad in things, making him a hard cat to be around. He errs on the side of caution, no matter what could be gained from taking a risk. This video ended up being more about their backstory rather than how they conflict with each other, so let me know if you want a part 2 using these same characters. Moon sat, peering out across the pile of garbage. Shadowclan knew he and Robin lived here, but they wouldn't risk infection from the rats to chase them out. A perfect home, really. It had only been a few moons since Robin had left their housefolk and met Moon, but the rats and the trash weren't as bad as one might think. You look like you have something on your mind. The rain, he peered over. The shed might flood, is all, but it's equally wet out here. Flicking their ear, Robin purred, amused. I didn't think the rain would bother you, Moon. A smirk rested on their face as they shook some water off of their front paw. It's a threat, he shook out his fur lightly. In large amounts. He was trying to validate his annoyance. Do you think they'll send a patrol this way again? He shifted. Are they actually sleeping?
A few of them are, but a lot of them can't get in because of the amount.
Thinking for a moment, Robin then shrugged. I'm not sure. They seem to have this thing going on where they run all over the area to make sure nobody enters. They must like us, he joked with a scoff, keeping us here like that, alone. Maybe they think you're an overgrown rat, Robin cackled. Maybe, he stood with a huff, turning. See you in the morning, he mewed, knowing full well they were sleeping under the same roof. Robin stayed outside a bit longer, enjoying the smell of rain, even if it did smell like garbage a lot. Moon sleeps in this tire. It's kinda sad. Moon shifted. The warmth of the sun was creeping into the 2-leg den. Already. Moon peered out into the territory. It was awfully foggy. He dropped down, heading to the only stream that wasn't littered with trash. I'm just gonna sit here drinking until your patrol gets here, so it'll be on you now.
Jesus Christ! Alright. Silver Marrow, Sunset Hollow, Mothlight. You 3 will be on herb patrols. Gather herbs for Medicine Cat.
Moon rose from the stream, licking the last of the water off his maw. He wandered further into the territory in search of food.
Tough Mouse, Fawn, Snarl, Shade Spark, and Loonstalk. We will be on border patrol. Yes, I will be going with you, he said proudly. The rest of you, occupy yourselves with something, he finished, tapping his tail to dismiss the clan.
Alright, I guess the squirrel's leading me straight to camp. I got it, and I'm inches away from camp. Oh, Mask, he dipped his head. You found something. She drops her fresh kill to speak. I think I'll hand it to Robin. I think we'll be okay enough to look for another. Looks like we all caught something, he dipped his head. Oh, a bird just landed right there. I thought we'd be a little lucky today. Eat your bird, he prompted. Moon kept his squirrel, not awake enough to eat.
Sunrise stared at Tough Mouse, instantly regretting the decision to make them the lead for this patrol. He kept quiet as he followed the she-cat. They're peeing everywhere!
He peeked up as he saw movement. Oh, we all texted at the same time. She stared into the distance, secretly longing. I like the day right after the rain, they said. It's so fresh and full of life. And cats. Her ears perked as she noticed the same movement Moon saw. That's a lot of them, he growled. Had they come to chase them out? A lot of what? Robin meowed, confused. Robin, get up, he demanded, annoyed. Look across the stream. Oh, them. They're clan cats, right? Are they coming in our direction? I hope they don't come in our direction. He waved his tail, quietly staring unwelcomingly at the cats. Should we hide, maybe? They already know we're here. If they are intent on finding us, they'll come inside the shed. We should stand our ground. She stared at the cats in the distance, anxiety continuing to rise. Here they come, they warned. He defensively stood in front of the other two cats. He felt responsible for them for some reason. Do you think they'll do something to us? They whispered. The rain made his mood worse. He sniffed. The rain was muffling the clan cat scent. He had no idea how close they were. Are we gonna be okay? If they attack me, run. He glanced back with wide eyes. 2 of us escaping is better than none. He planted his paws on the ground. I don't want to leave you behind. He visibly flinched, but didn't reply. She nodded to Robin. She nodded with Robin. He unsheathed his claws, audibly growling as the two approached. There's one of you.
Oh, everyone's here now.
Oh! His hackles rose as many more cats approached. So what do you want? He snarled through the fur of the squirrel.
He put himself between his clanmates and the loners. Who are you? And what brings you to Shadow Clan territory?
You know who we are, he snarled again. We're allowed to be here.
It says who, he hissed, knowing the Shadow Clan leader wouldn't allow loners on this territory.
The cats that have refused to chase us out moon after moon deal with us and you deal with the rats. He stepped back slightly, accidentally bapping Owlmask in the face with his tail.
And I'm to assume you're Moon, he said cautiously.
And Owlmask and Robin. It felt like an invasion of privacy to let them know, but peace would keep them alive, right?
He sighed, sheathing his claws before looking back at his clan. Shadow Clan, return back to camp. These loners aren't a threat, he shouted to his clanmates.
He gave a nod to Robin, seeming pleased.
He smiled at Tough Mouse, glad she isn't arguing on why. I will have a discussion with the loners, he continued to the patrol. Leave us. He sighed, looking towards the 3 loners. Given your reputation, I thought you 3 would be a bit larger.
He shifted a bit. Okay. I'm sorry to disappoint.
You should be, he said with a chuckle.
Why are you so comfortable? His claws flexed along the rubber of the tire.
Why wouldn't I be? He relaxed himself. I know you wouldn't hurt me, or else you would have done so already.
What if we're just trying to lure you in? He tilted his head. Take you somewhere no one would find you.
Because if you did, Shadow Clan would know I was with you 3 last, he stretched as he spoke.
His tail flicked. What is your point for staying?
What is the point in you continuing to stand there and talk to me? There doesn't seem to be one, but yet here we are, he said, giving a bit more of a chuckle at his wise words.
Good point, he nodded, simply standing and turning away. Have a good night, he huffed.
And when the conversation just started, he continued. How rude, he said, approaching the loner.
Glared back, his hackles rising. Stop. Stop!
Or what? He said, oblivious of the danger in front of him.
He tensed and reared up, slashing the cat across the face, narrowly missing his eyes. Robin tensed at the sudden escalation, ready to jump to Moon's aid, with only fear holding them back.
Sunrise recoiled at the slash. Looking as cut fur of his flew in the air, he gave a surprised look before jumping backwards.
Until you decide to defend it, this is our territory. Get out.
He looked down, a bit of blood dripping down his face before looking back at the loner. Not bad for a loner, he spoke, impressed at the slash. Maybe one day you'll become a Shadow Clan warrior. As if you would.
He sighed, turning. He flicked the cat's fur out of his claws as he walked silently back into the shelter. Are you okay? Fine, he blinked. They usually don't get that close. That new deputy must have bees in his brain. That was very brave of you. I wish I could have helped. As long as you're okay, Robin mumbled, looking over at Moon for injuries, even though they stood by and watched, knowing he hadn't been attacked. Just relieved that you're okay. It was handled, he sat, sighing. He loosened his posture, finally relaxing. We're okay. He felt tired, even though all he did today was defend their land. That whole thing left me mentally exhausted. I think I'll lie down for a bit. I'll be sure to spend extra time finding prey later. Right, he nodded, even though sunlight was creeping through the trees already. Moon sat and thought about what that dumb cat said. A warrior, really? Those cats willingly threw themselves into fights, as was demonstrated by their deputy. There's some cats over here. I wonder what they're doing. What are they doing? Oh, they're starting rumors. They're like, there's cats in this place? Moon squinted. More cats? I can see you, he rasped. So you can, it seems, she mewed. Are you here just to be irritating? The three cats seemed skittish. It amused him. If you consider us watching you annoying, maybe. He hopped over, intent on scaring them back into their camp. Couldn't hear you well over the stream. What was that? He lifted his head. Oh, you know, watching such a strange outsider is all, she purred, glancing to the others. I put a scar on that deputy of yours, he taunted, sitting. Flame's ears perked at that. Some gossip now. Oh, that was you. No wonder our leader was so angry with you, she mused. He was? He seemed caught off guard. Mad enough to shout at us to go home, she spoke, looking at the others. I didn't think getting on his bad side was possible, he smirked, amused. What will he do when he finds you here with me? I don't know. What do you think, strange one? She spoke. A silent threat? She didn't know. Moon stood with a stretch, eventually heading over to the group. Flame didn't back down, her confidence rising, quieting her fears. You should leave, he muttered, before the others come. Or what? There's 5 of us, 1 of you, she teased, knowing she was playing with fire here. Do you know how many loners there are? He bluffed. You are trespassing.
Do not, he put emphasis on the not, pick a fight with these loners.
Moon glanced over. He didn't know her name. This warrior here was just telling me how much she hates Shadow Clan.
He sighed. They were given access to the carry-on place as a camp. He does not give the reason.
She tilted her head, remembering the loner's statement earlier. Maybe this wasn't a smart idea, but whipped over to look at the loner with wide eyes. Step away. Make me, he snapped his teeth. He lifted a paw to scratch the loner, losing his balance and stumbling down the hill into the water.
Well, somebody save him.
Is all of Shadow Clan like this? He mused.
Only the ones who don't listen to orders!
He started to wonder where Almask was in all of this.
What these loners do are none of our business. I was not killed. As long as they stay within carry-on place territory, they are allowed here.
You fell in the trash water. I see that. He squinted, but stayed put. He peered over to Owlmask. See? There's more of us, he gestured towards her. You're outnumbered, and you don't know how badly, he lifted his head.
What are you doing here anyways? He said, asking the 2 warriors in front of him.
Moon walked forward, pretty harshly shoving Badger back into the stream before walking away.
Man!
Did you see that? He seemed happy with himself. What do they want? She stuttered, ignoring Moon's comment. What a very frightened cat. They're fools, looking for something to do. Clan life must be incredibly boring if they're looking to us for entertainment. I can't spell hello. She yelped.
You don't have to push one of my warriors into the water for entertainment, he said, mildly amused.
And if I wanted to? His tail swept across the ground.
At least tell me when you do, he gave a small chuckle. And make sure you push one that can actually swim.
I'd love some more of your fur between my claws, he glared at Sunrise, unfriendly. But I'm tired and need prey. Get on with your patrol.
I'm not here on patrol. My offer still stands, he continued, speaking about his earlier discussion with the loner.
Listen, your little trip into our territory was enough to send Robin back into Two-Leg Place. You're already ruining things for me, alright?
Well, if you consider my offer, then you and your other loner friend will be allowed to stay in the full territory.
I would love if you would consider leaving, he shot back.
I think you and your companion would fit perfectly as a Shadow Clan warrior.
Moon gestured with his tail to Owlmask. See if you can find some prey, okay? This one is fine. He hopped up onto the box. He wasn't being friendly. He was trying to make him uncomfortable.
He gave a friendly smile, oblivious of the situation. Does this mean you're considering joining Shadow Clan?
We're beginning to starve, he blurted, irritated. Your cats are getting too close. They're scaring all the good prey away.
If you joined us, he continued, you wouldn't starve.
So your idea of good faith is forcing me to starve, so I have to join Shadow Clan, he winced. It's pathetic. You're an amazing cat, really. Owlmask? He called. He hopped across the boxes to get to them. She dropped the bird. Only a couple small prey. It isn't enough. We'll be okay. I talked to him, and if he's a good cat, he'll lead his hunting patrols further away from us. Do you think he really will? We don't have much more to rely on. He eyed the thrush. I'll let you have the prey we could catch. I've lost my appetite. Okay. It was hard for him to refuse. He hadn't eaten since yesterday. Oh, bye. He sat on the metal post, watching. They weren't afraid of lingering close anymore. Moon saw the cat walking towards him. He slunk down, finding a place to hide. They're coming. There's a frog! Oh my god, there's a frog. Moon eyed the cat across the stream. Was this an ambush? There's no way it wasn't. The deputy wasn't with them. He's the only cat that would stop it. Moon shifted onto his paws. He leapt down, launching himself by his haunches directly onto the cat's back, clawing furiously at her back. Hey! Jinx clapped under the cat's weight, hitting the ground. Make me, he snarled back. You won't. You're scared of me, aren't you? You all are. He grabbed Jinx by the scruff, pulling her down into the water. Do something, then. He jumped across the water, jumping on the rogue's head. He wreathed, growling under the weight of the tom. He shoved his hind legs under the tom, kicking him off harder than intended. I just want you to leave me alone, he paused. Are you okay? His entire demeanor shifted. Go home, He hesitated to apologize. He was trying to protect Alamask. They just tried to kill you and me, she yelled. Why leave? They were arguing. It was time for him to leave. Where? Where are you? Oh, there you are. What happened? Is everything okay? Some cats crossed the stream. I'm fine. I just hope they didn't follow me. He sniffed Alamask. You smelt funny. Of course. When will they just leave us alone? Her voice sounded weak, as if a sickness had taken over her. He glanced up and down at Alamask. Are you okay? Something doesn't seem right. I suddenly feel too weak to stand. I fear I won't feel strong enough to hunt. My stomach has been hurting all evening. That's not good, he went. Did you eat something? She'd feel a pang of guilt, remembering the rat she ate. Perhaps. He swallowed. They could die from that. If you start throwing up, or... He hesitated. Anything. Get me. I'll fetch you some water. She nodded, curling herself to try and compress the pain. Aw. Moon had the water-drenched moss in his maw. She could barely raise her head, only being able to gaze desperately at Moon with half-lidded eyes. He dropped the moss, trying to conceal how horrified he was at the sight. He swallowed his doubt. Alamask needed help, even if it killed him. Either way, he wasn't coming back here without her. He slipped under her, carrying them on his back. He hesitated. Alamask first, he thought, reassuring himself. He slipped as he made it into camp, dropping them. Sneezepaw turned and screamed. Rogue, he yelled, charging at them. Wait! Please. She could barely even be aware of what was happening, barely able to smell the overwhelming sense of ShadowClan. Is that cat injured? Sick, he spat out. Ate a rat. Something is badly wrong. Jinxheart carefully picked up the cat. He watched them take her away. It killed him not to follow. Can I stay with them, please? It was weird to plea. You're the cat Sunrise made a deal with. Something like that. He looked down. His eyes uncontrollably lit up when he saw the Ginger Tom. A flicker of gay is in his chest. Now this is a surprise, she meowed. My friend is in your medicine den, he informed.
He walked towards the loner before turning to his clan. This has looked like an invitation to sit around. Go find something else to do.
I narrowed my eyes, dusted Horizon's tail strike. Stay here. The rest of you, attend to your normal duties. Can I please see her? He was nearly falling off his paws impatiently. I will escort you myself, but now that you've been on territory, regardless of meaning, I cannot let you leave. He nodded. It was more of an instinctual nod. He wasn't really listening. He broke away from the leader, darting over to Alamask. She ate it almost half a day ago. Is it too late to help? I shook my head. Not too late, but definitely not the best either. From here, Moon could tell Alamask had a fever. It was radiant. Jinx looked over at Moon and whispered an apology. I'm sorry for crossing the river. He flinched. You're... what? He seemed shocked. I attacked you! And you were only trying to protect them, weren't you? Jinxheart motioned to the sick cat. He nodded silently. She slowly dragged her head, but felt too weak to even get what was given to her in her mouth. It'll be a tough struggle trying to help this cat. She chewed slowly, but would finally swallow, giving little hope for this cat's recovery. He could smell the scent of death creeping up on his friend. Moon patted over slightly, tapping his nose on top of Alamask's head. You're alright. I rubbed the loner's neck gently with my paw, hoping it would cause some sort of reaction that would get the nasty stuff out, or at least take it. Yet even I was unsure of how bad it was. It was all in the matter of time. Moments that felt like forever passed, but nothing seemed to happen. Not even a gag would come from her. Moon shifted uncomfortably. She wasn't moving. Ain't even gagging. She looked like a statue, and starting to feel like one well as her body loses temperature. Oh yeah, she's gone. Moon finally realized. He stood and laid over her, wailing. For once, he was weak and alone. Pal, I turned to the other loner, seemingly their friend. I tried, but it didn't work. It was too late, he added to the medicine cat's words, trying to convince himself. I inched towards the cat. I'm sorry for the loss. It's tragic, I'm sure. He flinched, unmoving. Rogue, I know the loss is sudden, I hummed. But they won't be forgotten. I can hold a burial if you wish. He nodded, still shaking. He looked back at his friend. He swallowed, turning. He knew he was in trouble. Where am I staying? It's best we get somewhere less crowded. Yeah, I agree. Here, it's not the best, but we make do. Right, he cornered himself in the den. I understand this is sudden, but I want to compromise. I want to understand what you were doing near Carrion. It may not be ShadowClan territory, but it's close. I understand needing housing, a place to stay. He nodded, his mind barely present. You're asking why there? Yes, it's full of fleas. He took in a breath. He had nothing to lose now. Me, Robin, and Alamask lived in the barn before by a twin clan, but they weren't kind, none of them. No prey for us. Anything we caught was taken away. We were days away from starving when we decided we needed to leave, and this was the closest thing to the barn we found. I winced in sympathy. I understood just how brutal the barn could be. I'd gone through similar myself, even if it was more tame, but no cat should be left alone, ever. When we were confronted the first time, Robin left to stay in Two-Leg Place. I don't know what to say. I can't do anything but offer you shelter. I cannot say ShadowClan isn't thriving, but prey is still limited. I wish to offer an alliance. You seem to be a wise cat. We could use that. Alliance, he echoed. How? I have two options. Either you stay here in ShadowClan, after I ensure your loyalty and work with us, or you may stay at Carrion at expense of keeping that border safe and clear for ShadowClan. He thought for a moment. A long moment. Can I think about it? Of course. What can I call you? I'm pretty. I grinned. I'm only a call away, Moon. Don't forget it. He changed the topic. Your deputy. What's he called? What's got you asking? He blinked. Nothing. I'm not a young kid, Moon. You can be honest. I won't scold you. That's not fair. Finally, his tone was laced in humor. You have me cornered in a den. I have no choice but to answer to you. You know lying exists. I have no way to know you are telling the truth. He squinted. He'd incriminated himself. He was the only one of you to show me kindness at the start. I see. He's Sunrise, I smiled. He might be busy, but I'll figure out a way to give him more time. He simply nodded. I wonder if they're gonna put me back in here. Hi there, Moon, he said in a calm voice. You heard the name? He blinked. Hello there. He was curious of the loner. Am I popular? He tilted his head. Moon flinched as Sunrise approached. Moon gestured toward the den, completely ignoring Sneezepaw, his eyes locked on Sunrise. He stared at him silently. Moon hesitated, but eventually walked forward, pushing his head into Sunrise's front defeat. He needed comfort, and this is the only cat he had now.
He didn't flinch. Instead, he allowed the loner to seek comfort in him. I heard about your friend. I'm sorry she didn't make it.
If a cat could cry, he would be. He silently wept into his fur. Pretty offered for me to stay, he eventually mumbled.
He closed his eyes. Oh, so you take Pretty's offer, but not mine, he joked quietly.
Things changed. He felt weird embracing the Tom he'd injured only a few sunrises before.
He rested his head on the loner's fur. Did you want to stay?
I don't have anyone to go home to, Grief wavered in his voice. Shut up.
Grief is spelled wrong. Grief. Geef.
Good geef!
Sunrise felt the grief in the loner's voice. Let's tell Pretty that you want to stay, Sunrise spoke with sincerity.
I wanted to take you up on your offer to stay, if I can prove myself useful. Very well, I'll announce it right now. I puffed out my chest with pride. Moon, please make yourself known to the clan to see. Think everyone already knows. Now, I trust you'll warm up here eventually. My cats will be warm and welcoming to you, I'll ensure that. But for now, can I trust you to help us through daring times, even if it means you are to be injured? I've defended the territory before I even knew I was helping, he chuckled lightly. Yes, I do. Good geef! This is gonna be in the comments, isn't it? Amazing. Well, I will assign you with a warrior name. From here forth, you will be Moonfall. And, I thought... Oh my god. For my and the clan's sanity, Sunrise will teach you the simple ideas. He glanced over at Sunrise. Welcome in ShadowClan. Thanks. His eyes were on Sunrise. Forgive me for the harsh words earlier, she said to Moonfall. Thinking of their encounters at the carry-on place, she offered them an apologetic smile. He nodded. He couldn't hold grudges if this arrangement was going to work. Even a cat as old as me can be wrong sometimes, I assume. I hope you can look past my initial hostility. Everybody's apologizing. I guess that's kinda it. He roughly shoved Umber aside, stealing a mouse for himself. Wow! Minkop watched the way their clanmates treated each other, shifting a bit on her paws. His eyes caught Mink sitting alone, a smirklet on his muzzle. Hello there, wallflower, he said shyly. Minkop blinked blankly at the larger Tom. Hello? They stammered, caught off guard by the interaction. Still shaky as ever, he murped. Why not share a few tongues or, oh, I don't know, stop being a stick in the mud, literally. Hey, they squeaked, bristling. What have you done so recently that's so great? Throw insults around like it's the only thing you have to offer? It was a half-baked attempt at an insult. Youch, oh my poor feelings, how they ache. He faked as his paw lifted dramatically. Tough Mouse potted her jaws in a long, drawn-out yawn. Oh, leave her alone. Come sit by me instead, Robin Light, she purred, patting the spot next to her as she eyed the charming Tom. Makeup glanced over at Tough Mouse, then eyeing Robin Light to see if he'd leave. Oh, relax, Tough Mouse. They need to learn to be more exciting, he puffed his cheek sarcastically. Minkop was fine. They were one of Tough Mouse's friends, but they were still a follower at heart, and Tough Mouse deemed herself better than that. Exciting. For your taste? They squinted. You're a difficult cat to please, you know that? Trust me, I've tried, she groaned, lazily rolling onto her side. All I'm saying is, he paused as he pushed the mouse in his maw over to her. Staying in your shell won't solve your problems, he purred. Minkop stepped over the offered prey, brushing past the Tom. You should pick your friends more wisely, she teased, turning slightly. You might find yourself becoming too boring being around me. Annoyed and slightly bothered, she bounded up the uneven slope that led to the gorse tunnel. They crouched down and slipped under the cover of the trees, tasting the air for something to catch. Minkop stopped by the river, seeing a vague shape of prey on the other side. They carefully crossed the log, stepping onto unclaimed territory in search of the animal. They crept towards the bush. Surely the rabbit had been there, right? They could still see the faint tan color of the rabbit underneath. Suddenly the rabbit darted, clumsily slipping down into the tunnel leading under the thunder path. Minkop didn't even know that was there. Minkop sniffed, verifying the rabbit had gone this way. Their fur rose as they slipped into the small ravine. Minkop's nose wrinkled as the smell of decaying two-leg clutter hit them. They carefully skipped around each shard of broken glass, not sure if this rabbit was worth it anymore.
Looking for this? Brightbee mused with a purr, staring at the ThunderClan warrior.
Minkop froze as the calico sheep padded into view. Their gaze fell to the rabbit, the one that they'd been looking for. Yeah.
This rabbit must have been quite the catch, Brightbee continued, walking into ShadowClan territory for it.
I wasn't in ShadowClan territory, she shifted, unconfident, on her paws. I wanted to see if it had gone further than the tunnel, is all. Clearly, you caught it just before it entered your land. Meaning it's still ThunderClan prey.
I'm sure you ThunderClan warriors wouldn't walk a few tail lengths away for a rabbit like this, she chuckled through the rabbit's fur. But you can have it anyways.
Minkop eyed the rabbit on the ground. They wanted to walk forward, but something was stopping her. You can go, then.
You walk into my territory and demand I leave? She eyed the cat. I might as well just stay and make sure you leave. Don't want you to walk any further anyways.
Minkop slowly crept forward, not convinced it wasn't some sort of quickly organized trap. She bent down to grab the rabbit, not staying any longer than she had to.
Off you go then, Brightbee purred. Next time I won't catch your prey for you, she laughed.
Minkop squinted at the cat, giving a judgmental stare and turning away and leaving. Taramus purred out a soft greeting to Minkop, nodding gently. Good evening, Minkop. You look busy, so we'll just go on by. Just heading back to camp, she commented, passing them. Minkop's whiskers twitched as she saw Tough Mouse and Robin Light. He'd found better company after all. Hopefully she didn't smell too bad. Not like ShadowClan, but like the Thunderpath. She slipped into the warrior's den, hoping to get any last bit of night that was left in slumber. Mink stirred due to the noise in the den. She peered into the clearing, trying to see if patrols had been called yet. They hopped down, seeing Bitterstar and Bristlefang chatting. She wiggled up beside Minkop, still groaning. You're right, Robin Light is weird. I'm not talking to him anymore, she murmured out loud. Good morning, she hummed, amused. I nod a friendly greeting to Minkop. Very well kept, I compliment. Thank you? Her eyes widened slightly. She let out a low, quavering sigh. Not a good morning. A bad morning. I got no sleep last night, and now she's going to make it everybody else's problem. Bristlefang watched as the cats lined up, his judgmental gaze looking them all up and down. You smell weird, by the way. Those flowers getting old? She turned to eye Minkop for a quick moment. I found myself near the Thunderpath tunnel on accident, she chuckled nervously. Got too focused on a rabbit. I heard water lilies wilt quick. You know, you should keep up with that. Tough Mouse blinked. Oh, Thunderpath, that's why. Did we get put on a patrol? Mincop murmured nervously to Tough Mouse. She hadn't heard it over all the chatting. She leaned close to Mincop, already plotting. Yeah, me, you, and Stinky over there. She sent another focused glare at Mousepelt. So, patrol buddies, Mousepelt slid closer. It seemed like she didn't even know Tough Mouse hated her. Who's excited? Patrol buddies, she repeated, anxiety creeping on her. We should head out now, she piped, overwhelmed by the cats. Yeah, whatevs. Ah, yes, time to help protect the clan. I'm thirsty, she suddenly stopped. Okay. Can't we take a break? Tough Mouse slumped over to Mousepet. Or are you too good for those? While walking, Mousepet felt it would be nice to say words to feel important. Oh yeah, we could stop for the moment. No funny business, though. Tough Mouse bit her tongue, silencing a snotty remark. She'd never do any funny business, but she knows a cat who would. None of us have any reservations about RiverClan, she added quietly, padding forward. The sun was too bright, Mousepet was with her, and she hadn't slept all night, and worse, the river was warm. Okay, she cringed. Where next, boss? Well, Mousepet paused to think. We were told to patrol near the Thunderpath, right? Right, Mincop chimed in, regrouping with them. Yeah, let's add that to the weird stench Mincop has going on, she teased. Mousepet nodded. Thanks for remembering for me, Mincop. She lowered her posture, tail flicking. Mousepet looked back. Lighten up, Tough Mouse. She sounded a bit aggressive. Let's go already. They strayed a bit close to the path, focusing their eyes on the pine forest on the other side. You think we could take down a monster if we tried? No, she murped, seeing a cat on the other side. Of course we could, Mincop. This is your problem. You always think the worst. She dismissed her friend's worries. They looked over at the two, deep in their own rhetorical conversation. They weren't contributing much to the conversation, so they padded behind. Mincop tried to make out the orange blob hiding in the grass, but the cat was so far away. A wave of familiarity washed over Mincop as the cat padded out into the sun. Mincop lashed their tail very clearly at the strange cat in a friendly gesture.
Brightbee purred, walking along the Thunderpath, waving her tail for the ThunderClan cat to follow.
Mincop stopped at the edge of the territory, intent on not leaving it. They sat, seeing if the cat would willingly join them. Mincop cautiously padded forward.
Hello again, Brightbee mewed.
Mincop swallowed, looking behind them for a moment. What has you so far away from your border?
Maybe I wanted some entertainment, Brightbee responded. Our patrols are too boring.
You don't seem to be too worried. Mincop eyed her before realizing the patrol was waiting. If she left now, she wouldn't get any answers as to why this cat was so intent on befriending her.
If you wanted to hurt me, or even just avoid me, we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we? She spoke, her tone filled with amusement. I'm not worried because you're the one who waved to me first.
Their whiskers flicked, though they tried to hide their amusement. You have a job to do, Mincop reminded, though it was mostly to themselves. I'll see you at the gathering. Something that doesn't get us in trouble.
Brightbee shot a look at the warrior. So you do want to talk to me, she said before shooing the cat back to the patrol. Anyways, go. Don't want them to send a search patrol for you.
You'd end up with the worst of it, Mincop promised in a tease, turning and quickly running away. Mincop wheezed as she made it back to them. Where, she breathed, did you go? She visibly flinched at Mincop's mew. Her ear flicked. Oh, StarClan, we, scared me. Oh, Star, she totally left behind Mincop, didn't she? Oh no, she was a terrible patrol leader today. You really have to put in the work with those little legs of yours. You have to keep up, Tough Mouse huffed to them. Mincop tried to figure out a way to pin the blame on somebody other than her. There was a ShadowClan warrior both of you entirely missed. Mousepelt's smile faded so fast. What? She broke into a shout. Tough Mouse leapt to her feet, gazing around wildly. Seriously, where? Near the stream, on the edge of the Thunderpath. It only took words to get them to leave. Thank you so much for dealing with that awful, awful cat. You're a brave warrior dealing with that alone. Oh, I'm gonna get them. I'll get them, she hissed and sneered, leaping around in circles. I can't read that. Tough Mouse, they said that the warrior left. She stopped, blinking a few times before returning to her patrolmate's sides. Oh. We can report back to Bristleclaw now, she suggested. Okay, cool. She tried to play it off, acting as if she weren't embarrassed. Nice job, Mid-Cop. I'm going to tell that cat about how awesome our patrol was. We did all great. 5 stars, whatever that means. Discarding the entrance, she chirped, letting the cats through with a wave of her tail and a grin. She glared at Mousepelt. Took her long enough. Whimsypaw. Hey, Pipsqueak. As much as Tough Mouse would love to stay around and tease the young cat, her paw was sore. Mid-Cop nodded, sliding into camp. Come get Moon Star calls for the gathering. I really don't want to miss it. Okay, Mid-Cop eyed Tough Mouse's unusually friendly posture. The gathering. That was tonight? She made a promise, but wasn't expecting to have to act on it so soon. She looked over to Mid-Cop, stalking over. Welcome back. Mid-Cop purred a greeting, trying to remain chipper. How was the patrol? She asked, blinking. Fine, Mid-Cop dipped their head. ShadowClan is getting weirdly close to the border, but it's not like they can trespass without crossing the Thunderpath. She nodded. Interesting. Weird, but better than stalking around camp all day. I suppose. She glanced at the now gathering cats. I didn't have a patrol. The day was boring, she huffed. Wow, you have a lot of friends, she murmured anxiously. She looked at her friends, suddenly noticing they were there. Oh, I guess so, she mumbled, awkwardly. Enjoy your night, Mid-Cop said sheepishly, dismissing herself from the crowd.
Let all cats old enough to catch their prey gather beneath the tall rock for a clan meeting. His words projected across the clan.
Mid-Cop hopped to her paws to get closer to the meeting.
As many of you know, tonight is the night of the gathering. As such, we must prepare for departure. At this time, those that wish to come gather near the entrance to leave as soon as possible. All those who wish to stay can. He dipped his head and padded over to the entrance.
Mid-Cop positioned themselves a bit behind the familiar cat. That cat right there, she pointed at Bright Bee. Mid-Cop glanced over at the talking cats, confused. The suspicious cat I saw across the Thunderpath, that's her, not a Tom. Mid-Cop flicked a pebble at Bright Bee, gesturing for her to follow them when she glanced back.
She got up, turning around in a bit of annoyance before seeing that it was the warriors she wanted to talk to.
Mid-Cop leaned over to the cat, not meeting her gaze. What do I call you?
Brightbee, she purred, proud of her warrior name. And who might you be?
Mid-Cop, she said quickly, her eyes on the leaders. Where do you think WindClan and RiverClan are?
Well, Mid-Cop, I think Smogstar and Sleetstar are at each other's pelts right now, she chuckled. You remember last meeting?
That or they've just completely forgotten, she said with a purr. She didn't feel as scared to speak with this cat.
What makes you want to talk to me? Brightbee asked bluntly, a hint of curiosity in her tone.
You just might be the only cat with some decency, she said honestly. Every other cat seems to think I'm still to be treated like a kit.
Brightbee purred, getting closer to the Thunderhand cat. They might just be a bit odd, she commented. Like that one, Tough Mouse, sleeping during a gathering.
That one is the problem, actually, she commented, realizing she'd completely forgot to gather Tough Mouse before the gathering. Oops.
I see, she responded. She looks like a problem, especially with the sleeping during an important gathering.
It's a bit more personal than that, they commented, not wanting to dwell too much on the topic. It already felt like they were running out of time.
Brightbee squinted. Anyways, what did you want to talk to me about?
I just wanted to see you again, Mid-Cop admitted almost shyly, looking at the ground. It feels nice when you're around.
Brightbee leaned into the cat jokingly. Then how close do you want me to get? She was leaning enough for Mid-Cop to barely stay balanced.
Mid-Cop propped out a leg to the side to hold herself up, flushed as the cat leaned on her.
Brightbee leaned in even closer, intentionally trying to make Mid-Cop fall.
Mid-Cop gave, letting themselves buckle down into a loaf position next to Brightbee. Mid-Cop eventually sat up, checking out their fur and making a small amount of distance between them. I want to talk to you again.
Then meet me back at the underpath, below the Thunderpath, she purred, when the moon starts rising tomorrow night.
They stretched, giving Brightbee a nod as she scurried to catch her clan. Minkop felt the warmth of the sunrise lay across her pelt as she began to wake. Minkop lifted her head, her gaze resting on Mousepelt, unable to ignore the fact Robinlight was next to him. Mousepelt, Minkop said in a hushed whisper. Waha! She made incomprehensible groggy noises as she woke up. She took them home up for her brain turned on. Yeah? Can I talk to you? They looked toward Robinlight. Alone? She looked up at her brother, then back to Minkop. Oh, yeah, sure. She nodded back, heading out. So, Mousepelt tilted her head a bit. What did you want to talk about? Minkop felt guilt sink in their chest. I need a cat to talk to, they admitted bluntly. You may have noticed that not many cats like me? She raised her tone at the end of the sentence. Oh, Minkop, sweetie. Mousepelt trailed off a bit. Don't listen to what any of those other cats have to say. You're a wonderful clanmate. It's hard not to. Minkop thought about Mousepelt's brother for a moment, and the word to use to pick at her confidence. There's something that's been bothering me for a bit. What is it? I'll do whatever I can to help you out. Mousepelt sounded determined. What do you do when the only cat that doesn't make you feel like you need to run away isn't even in your clan? They hoped that if Mousepelt was going to rat them out, she at least wouldn't know what cat they were talking about. Mousepelt squinted for a moment, lost in thought. That was a bit of a loaded question. Minkop? She looked to the floor, still thinking. Then he smiled softly, lifting her head back up again. I understand, Minkop. Feeling alone in your clan can be hard, but know that I'm always here for you in ThunderClan. Mousepelt hoped that was a good enough of a response. She didn't really understand what Minkop was going through at all. Minkop had a hard time trusting that thought. What was wrong with her? Why was everyone so far away suddenly? Thank you. She feigned the joy in her tone. She nodded her head. Of course. I'm here whenever you need, she grinned. Hopefully that was enough comfort. I'm going to hunt for a while, but she'd already said thank you. She didn't know how to dismiss herself. I should probably see where Whimsypaw is. Yeah. Good luck hunting, Minkop. Minkop hesitated before quickly darting across the thunder path. Minkop finally found the site they were looking for. They hopped down, not having much to lose. Bright Bee, Minkop hissed in a whisper, trying to stay in the shadows.
Someone is a bit early, Brightbee squinted. And crossing borders too? She didn't care, just trying to gain a reaction.
I needed to get out for a while, Minkop replied defensively.
I know a spot we can go then, Brightbee purred. Make sure to keep up. Without waiting, she began to sprint. Brightbee hit a concerned look at Minkop. You said you had to get out. Did something happen?
Every cat feels so far away suddenly, Minkop croaked, unprompted. And even though you're in a whole other clan, you seem the closest to me than any other cat has gotten.
Brightbee curled her tail around Minkop affectionately.
Minkop rested their head on Brightbee's shoulder, pulling her tail off of them and intertwining her own tail with Brightbee's. Minkop looked up. They'd been there for who knows how long. Minkop needed to be present for dusk patrols. I'll try to catch you again tonight, Minkop said more confidently than normal, pulling away from Brightbee. Minkop located the batch of honeydew. Lavender would be better, but on short notice this would work. They rolled in it to mask the scent of ShadowClan. Finally satisfied, Minkop stood and headed back to camp. Minkop propped themselves up on the ledge, waiting for time to pass for the dusk patrol. Now that it was time, Minkop leapt down clumsily into the clearing.
As he pattered out, Bitter smelled something old, yet familiar. A sweet scent that reminded him of something long ago. He followed the scent and noticed it coming from Minkop. He stared at the she-cat.
Minkop tried to ignore the burning feeling on her pelt.
Everyone, and I do mean everyone, except Minkop, leave. I need to speak to them. Go about your duties. Now. Authority leaked from his tone as he hit his tail on the ground.
Minkop froze at Bitterstar's words. She turned to look at the she-cat beside him curiously and then patted off. Sweet Girl tried to stand her ground, slippering out a soft no, leaning to the side. She walked off anyway. No! There was no one else in the clearing now.
He waved his tail for the she to approach without saying a word, his face expressionless.
She didn't meet his gaze, only sitting tall out of respect for the seasoned leader, Bitter Star.
Minkop, your scent. It reminds me of something. He said nothing more, waiting to see how the she reacted.
I took a long trot through the forest today, Minkop insisted. The flowers are blooming, now that Leafbear is gone. I must have picked up some pollen.
You must have. His tone laced with suspicion. Is that really all you wish to share on this? Nothing more to add?
Nothing that would worry you. She tried to fake confidence, but it was fading quickly under his cold gaze. I've been pretty clumsy recently when hunting, that may be why. She was digging a deeper hole.
Maybe. He sat in silence for a moment, tension building like a pipe about to burst. I think you know more than you let on. He stared blankly.
Are you questioning my intelligence? She smirked at her own witty remark. Would he take to a kinder tone now that he'd suggested she was hiding something? Maybe.
If you wish to keep to yourself, I cannot force your tongue to speak on your behalf. But no, whatever it is, it's not good to keep secrets from your leader. Now, go join a dust patrol and work off that scent you dragged into my camp. His words spoke in finality.
Perhaps soon we can have a long chat. Minkop tried to offer friendliness, but their tone was dry and terrified. She patted off after. She turned on her heel, seeing Brightbee behind. Hey!
Hey, Brightbee copied, padding up to Minkop.
Minkop gestured for her to follow, on edge. Minkop stared into the water, silent. How would Brightbee react to having to make a decision here and now about how they were to continue going forward? It wasn't like they had a choice. Looking over to Brightbee in hopes of finding a solution.
Is something on your mind?
You, Minkop muttered half on instinct, among other things.
Brightbee sat closer to Minkop. What's the matter? Brightbee stared, wanting to help.
Bitterstar knows something, but he doesn't know the details. Minkop rubbed their paw pads along the rocky pavement. I don't know if I can keep coming back here, and if I do, I don't think I can go back.
Brightbee pressed her muzzle against Minkop's pelt. Maybe you can stay in ShadowClan with me, she offered, knowing she isn't able to make it happen herself.
Minkop seemed to be seriously considering it. ThunderClan never felt like home. I'd have some cats to say bye to first. Maybe one cat at most, but she needed time to think.
Brightbee pressed her nose against Minkop. Maybe you should get some sleep and rest, she expressed. I don't want you to get caught tired for dawn patrols.
She swallowed dryly. Yeah, you're right. And the longer I'm here, the worse it looks. They hated to admit the truth.
Brightbee smiled. Come back tomorrow?
Tomorrow, she promised, sliding to her paws and hopping down towards the path. It was safer to travel under. They continued under the path, mind racing.
Bitter sat down. How was the patrol?
Got a little sidetracked. Minkop still tried to remain passive. Do you want to walk back to camp with me?
No, I don't think that's smart. His tone ominous, as he stared expressionless at the cat.
Minkop was really wishing Brightbee would appear behind her and defend her, but the tunnel was silent and empty.
Instead, why don't we have a little chat about what you were truly doing in ShadowClan territory? His tail swayed, and then laid still.
Minkop had no choice but to comply. They padded forward, sitting next to their leader. They had to trust that he only had good intentions.
So, anything you want to get off your chest?
A soul for a soul, Minkop offered. If they both had something to hold against each other, this wouldn't be so bad.
Bitter sighed. His expression softened, and his eyes showed a glimmer of something from long ago. So be it. He dipped his head, preparing his truth. He stared at the she before resigning. Her name was Dovebreeze.
Her name? Minkop echoed. Had Bitterstar shared the same feeling?
Saying it after all this time had sent a wince of pain into his eyes. He hadn't thought of her in so long. Yes, your predictions are correct. I too have been in your paws. I too have loved one I was forbidden to. I've bore the same burden you carry now. He was searching for something in Mink's eyes. Empathy?
Minkop only stared at him with shared sorrow. It was a painful burden, but one Minkop was willing to carry many times over.
We were together for many moons back when I was a warrior. We loved more than any two could love one another. We planned to live a life together. To leave the clans and make our own place. But Smogstar had other plans. He found out about us and tore us apart. Horrifically, I nearly lost my entire reputation in the process, let alone her. She seemed to be an afterthought compared to his reputation.
Minkop flinched. Was that all he was worried about? Minkop was preparing to give everything away just to be with Brightbee. That wasn't something she could sympathize with.
I say this to reiterate that I share your burden. I know your pain. I'm willing to help you. To take that burden away from you. He got closer, placing his tail on her back, pulling her close.
Minkop uncomfortably leaned over. Without wanting to, she began to weep into her leader's fur. There was nothing they had left to fear. He knew everything she thought she was hiding.
It's okay, little one. It's time we make good on your promise. A soul for a soul.
Assuming Bitterstar meant it was her turn to speak, she looked up at him with pleading eyes. Yeah.
Bitter in one fell swoop placed a paw against Minkop's head, slamming it down into the dirt.
Minkop let out a screech, reaching a paw up. They were only able to grab a hold of Bitterstar's shoulder, slicing into it and losing hold after.
Bitterstar winced in pain as he yowled. It's too late. You know, too much. I'm sorry. While he kept Mink's head pinned to the dirt, Bitter lowered himself and sunk his teeth into Mink's throat.
Minkop squirmed helplessly, already feeling the bite reach her before she could react. They fell limp, barely a trace of a struggle on her aside from a single claw swipe.
He clamped down even harder, ensuring the death, before rising up and licking the blood from his fangs. He said nothing before padding out and looking to the stars.
We had to split the clans up pretty evenly, and we did a good job, but it does mean our clans are a little small, so... All cats old enough to run in the moor gathered beneath the tall rock for a clan meeting. His voice boomed over the clearing, despite being shallow. He lifted his head, letting the wind blow through his thin fur. Our deputy, Rabbit Hide, has left the clan. We need a cat to take his place. Trying to read all of this text, my goodness. Duskvine has helped me pick the right cat for the job. A cat that isn't afraid of conflict, but is strong-willed. Snarlfang, make yourself known. He nodded along with the leader's decision. You have served this clan for many moons. You are a seasoned warrior, and will help lead this clan by my side. You may take your place next to the tall rock. That is all. Please find your way to your nests and be ready for dawn patrols come morning. He stretched on the rock, his claws scratching against it as he turned towards Duskvine. We'll be good, he assured, hopeful of his choice. His ear flicked as he met Smogstar's gaze. Our clan is thriving. Yes, he agreed, looking back at the now empty clearing. Good night, Duskvine. Good night, he purred shortly before padding towards his den. Smogstar left his den, waking early. Even though his clan was happy and thriving, he appeared restless. You're up late. Out here all by yourself? He countered. I'm not alone. He rested his eyes briefly. WindClan rests under the stars. I'm just taking some time to think about things. And there's the sun. He turned his gaze towards the sun rising. There are trying times coming, he said ominously. StarClan has been sending me messages, but they're too cryptic to decode just yet, he sighed. He only shifted slightly. I'm going to patrol with my warriors today. I want to get a better idea of what their life is like, with me as their leader. He nodded. It would be good for you to get out some more, he purred. He nodded. We should get back to camp then. Go ahead, he looked back at the leader. I need to find some herbs. Looks like patrols are already being sent out. Oops. Hello, Toby, he purred. I'm patrolling with you all today. Has a border patrol already been organized? He whispered. He was late. Not yet, you're just in time. Good. Now for border patrol. Scorchblaze, Umberpelt, Bloodreds, and Cinder. You will go, and Smogstar, you can lead it. He nodded, satisfied. Thank you, Snarlfang. He nodded to himself before stepping away, waiting for his patrol to follow. Good morning, Smogstar. Hello, his tail flicked as he walked. Wanting to be a part of them? Any RiverClan scent? It seemed like he was testing them. Cinder opened her mouth slightly, tasting the scent. No, I don't believe so. Good. He glanced over to the tree. There's some here, but it's stale. We're all good here, then. Let's go around to the barn, then come back here to end the circle. No movement seemed to be stirring across the fence. He tasted the air and only received the scent of grass. It's oddly calm, he noted. Did Two Legs scare the loners off? He questioned. Umberpelt sniffs the grass, rubbing her nose into the dirt slightly before sniffing and then sneezing. It's nothing that worries us. I'm just glad there's no trespassing. He looked over to Umberpelt. Alright, to the Thunderpath. No ShadowClan scent, he muttered. Once again, nothing to report. He heard distant paw steps. Pause. Get down, he ordered firmly. The patrol. We have to chase them out, he looked at his warriors. On my call, attack them. Now, he yelled. He let out a hiss, blindly clawing before realizing his claws were being met by Bitterstar's pelt.
Hey, what's up? Stand down.
You're in our land, he snarled. Leave!
Oh, is that so? I didn't notice.
You're hunting rabbits. Do you have leaves in your ears? He squinted, his claws flexing into the dirt beneath him.
Is it so wrong to want to enjoy other prey in our lives? He'd stare daggers at the lanky Tom.
He nearly yelled something regrettable. There would be a time, but not now. Leave, before more blood is spilt.
So now you know what it feels like to have someone else meddling in your business. Remember this feeling. So be it. We will leave. I've made my message clear.
He nodded, giving the leader time to collect his warriors before chasing them away. Make sure they leave, he called out.
ThunderClan, we depart. He'd stare at the lanky Tom as he padded off.
Mousepelt whipped around. ThunderClan rules, WindClan rules! He breathed, turning. Is anyone hurt? Make sure every cat gets back to camp. He gave a concerned look to Cinder. She had been on his patrol and was now injured. I'm sorry we did not come sooner, Smogstar. That's okay. Every cat get back to camp. Have Duskvine give you all a check.
Well, consider the message sent. I huffed, bringing my paw up to my eye, stinging badly, a black eye visible. Get any scratches checked with cherry mist. I do apologize for any injuries, but it was necessary. You will know more soon enough.
You were looking at me. He greeted the leader. These two have some information that you might want. RiverClan patrol spotted too close to the border. Oh, StarClan. He sunk his claws into the sand. Alright. So we have two clans approaching the borders on both sides. That's not good. I'll tell the clan, he stood, pausing for a moment before heading to the tall rock. All cats old enough to hunt in the moors gathered beneath the tall rock for a clan meeting. WindClan has been attacked in their own territory. Bitterstar led a patrol on his own into WindClan to hunt. And RiverClan is getting far too close to our borders. The bridge isn't theirs to claim. The full moon gathering is tonight. I will address the leaders about this, and for StarClan's sake, do not start any fights. Stay away from the other clans. Gather in your own area. We are outnumbered if they're working together. It will be handled. Just don't do anything mouse-brained while the tension is high. That being said, I want 2 cats guarding the camp until our borders are secure again. Snarlfang, please assign 2 guards. They may be switched out often. That is all. Get some rest and prepare for the gathering tonight. Any cat who wishes to go to the gathering may, he called out, trying to combat the noise of the rain. We'll be leaving soon. Smogstar, what about the guards? I asked through the noisy rainfall. If Bitterstar leads an attack on camp during a meeting, StarClan will have him. He stood as the sun began to set, feeling the warmth fade from the sky as the rain stopped. All cats coming to the gathering, follow me. We're going a little early, but it's okay.
I'll say again, all apprentices that wish to join must be with their mentors. Kits remain here. All others are invited to join. I expect some hostility at this meeting, so stay on guard, and do not speak out of turn. He'd stared down at his clanmates with authority in his eyes. Please remain diligent and courteous. The last thing we need is a skirmish beneath the stars. Already, Mousepelt, lead the way. Time to depart.
As rumors and gossip has spread, Wind Clan cats have been seen entering our territory and disrespecting our borders. We do not know what Wind Clan has planned if this is true. I will leave a small amount of warriors as a defense. River Clan, we shall prepare our trip to Four Trees now. Plan dismissed.
They burned a claw over the border, she said, her fur standing up. Every star lifted her paw and laid it down on the she cat. Please calm down. We may speak with them in tonight's gathering. Now everyone, please get ready. If you were picked to come along tonight's gathering, you must be ready for anything.
And there's ThunderClan. Wow.
Log Star, Sleet dipped his head in greeting.
Sleet Star, he greeted on edge. Ivory Star.
Pat over in silence and sit down. Alright, I guess I'll start. ThunderClan has had several sins of fox in our territory. It has claimed the lives of two of our own. Our medicine cat Fallen Leaves and our deputy Bristlefang. We are no weaker than before, and will bounce back stronger than ever. Ivory Star, I pass to you. He dipped his head.
Ivory Star stood up slightly, now speaking. ShadowClan has been doing pretty well. There's something I would like to say later on. However, Dauda Paul became apprentice recently. However, there are some problems that needed to be said. We heard that Wind Clan, she hissed as she turned to Smokestar, that we have gotten few Wind Clan cats near our borders.
My warriors reported that Wind Clan was also in River Clan.
Is that so? Her tone was annoyed as she looked at Smokestar.
Bitter smirked at the hostility towards Smog.
Anything you have to say?
Well, Smogstar?
Smog stepped forward awkwardly. I was unaware of any involvement with ShadowClan. Wind Clan was attacked in their own territory by a patrol led by Bitterstar.
The fur on his neck stood up immediately at the mention of his name. Oh, is that so?
Your warriors have enough wounds to prove it, as do mine, he tensed. I was told RiverClan was straying close to our borders, too. As for ShadowClan, I don't see how any of my warriors were close to your land. There's a thunderpath in the way, and any cat of mine would reek of it if they were to stray close.
Sleet stepped up upon hearing the allegation. I know for a fact my warriors have strayed away from entering Wind Clan territory.
He let Sleetstar's hostility roll over him, unfazed. Clearly, we all have our own concerns for our borders.
Wind Clan wouldn't have deserved such treatment from my clan if it weren't from their meddling in affairs that aren't theirs. He'd stare daggers at Smogstar.
Wise words coming from somebody who was mates with one of my warriors, he shot back, close to snarling. You had an innocent cat roped into your schemes.
He'd stomp in his tracks. The fur on his back shut up in an instant. You have no right! Hostility seeped from his maw.
He stayed still, basking in the moonlight. Bitterstar's anger was like birdsong to him.
I will not handle any level of disrespect or allegations from a crow-headed, lanky moor-runner like you.
She turned to Sleekstar before looking at the two cats. Let's calm down. We all know we should not be having problems during a gathering.
We all should know as well not to spread fox-chase rumors for the sake of nothing more than to stir up issues. His eyes twitched, knowing his words were lies, but having nothing other than denying.
If we're all done, he snapped at Bitterstar, I have nothing else to share.
He'd hissed to Smog. I suppose so. I'd watch where that tongue of yours leads you. A dangerous path may yet unfold for you.
His ear flicked towards Bitter, but he offered nothing else.
She slammed her paw. We have not even solved any of our problems. Both of you are acting like kids.
He looked to the stars, knowing what this means.
Smog shifted. This meeting is over. Fix your problems on your own time. Wind Clan grouped together. What happened? I ask, eager to learn what had happened. Every cat gets some sleep. We'll assess what we've learned in the morning. To your nests, now, he hissed. What happened? They think we're trespassing, but every cat was here dealing with Bitterstar's patrol. Anything interesting? He squinted. I need to know, she grunted dramatically. Just kit fighting. Bitter is intent on getting rid of my fur, but it won't happen. Ugh, that Bitterstar or whatever is so annoying. Good job for keeping your cool, I'm guessing, Cinder praised. He nodded simply, tired. Smogstar, I will send out less words on the patrols and hunting, so there are more to protect the clan. Thank you, he nodded. We need to prioritize the border patrols for now. We only need to hunt enough to stay fed, no more.
You meet me at the border real quick?
Yeah, hang on.
Hey! You suck!
We are not sending out a lot of border patrols, but hunting patrols will go on normally. Light Moon, Umberpelt, Blood Rose will go on a hunting patrol, and Smogstar can lead it if you wish. I'd like to lead a border patrol, just in case. Then you can take Dappled Snow, Bolt Blossom, and Toby with you. He nodded.
Sleet can be seen on the clan rock, visibly stressed, before jumping down to dim gaze. We need warriors, he spoke abruptly. The bridge. I had a dream about the bridge. When the clan is coming.
Let's get going, it's almost sun high. Oh wow, that's a lot of cats. That is actually a lot of cats. He kinda just froze. They're crossing, he muttered. They're crossing, he yelled.
Smogstar?
Sleet Star.
I was warned that when the clan would be coming to the bridge, he admitted, his face blank of expression.
It's our border, he hissed defensively. You started to cross it.
It's our border too.
Then why come so close? He lifted his head. He tensed, staying still.
Darkman spoke to me the past few nights, he said, a bit of his voice shaking.
To you, great Sleet Star, he spat the name harshly.
They spoke to me, warning me of this.
You're mad, his whiskers flicked.
Is it mad to protect my clan?
You're creating danger to defend it from, he snarled, recoiling. He sank his claws into the wood beneath his paws. Arguing with this cat was useless.
He mumbled something inaudible.
Oh! Wow! Okay! He let out a terrible scream, unexpectedly attacked. Wait, did they grab me? What happened? Oh, yeah. He clawed blindly at the larger cat. I snarled, baring my teeth at Smogstar, but stepping back. Ah! He backed himself up against the edge of the bridge, hissing. He was disorientated. You and your little more runners have done enough, I snarled at the feline, my brows furrowing as I swipe at their cheek. Unable to move further back, the blow sliced through his cheek, causing him to stumble. I hissed, stepping forward, but my focus dislodges by the feline's sudden attack. He took the time to get to his paws, shaking the blood from his muzzle. I said off! I grit my teeth, pushing over River, before leaping right back at the smaller feline in front. He wreathed, trying to roll over to claw at the larger cat, but once again, he was weaker. Since you want to bring your cats over to us, let's see if you like the taste of the river. I used my weight to push Smogstar further, not even realizing how easily I had done so. He sank his claws into the wood, shrieking as he struggled to hold his weight up. Even with interference, he wasn't able to hold, and he fell into the raging river below. He hit the water hard, the cold washing over him and paralyzing his body.
Fleet rushed over to the edge, watching as Smogstar struggles in the gorge.
He slipped under the surface, unable to swim due to the cold.
Fleet jumped over the edge, swimming to get Smogstar to land.
His body slunk onto the grass with a thud.
Fleet stared in horror. He felt his body getting colder as he tried to pad away. He only made it a few tail lengths away before collapsing.
Smog struggled, but eventually fell still as he helplessly tried to reach towards Sleep Star. Eventually, he stirred again, the smell of death leaving his pelt as quickly as it came. He was still shaking under his pelt, but he pushed through it and stood. I'm okay, he coughed. Stop the fighting. WindClan, stop, he yelled. Sleep Star is hurt.
He felt the wounds on his body. The exhaustion from getting no sleep mixed with fighting the gorge's currents had got to him.
He then turned, fighting to get to Sleep Star. Smogstar was fine knowing that he'd lost a life, but Sleep Star only had so many left.
He stared down at his own lifeless body. It felt like an eternity as cats gathered around him.
He growled, staying. He wouldn't have wanted this. What did you do to him?
With a sudden pain, he felt warmth as he was suddenly back in his own body. As Sleet slowly blinked himself back to life, he got up in a panic and hissed at the surrounding cats before fixing his eyes on Smogstar.
You're alive.
Barely, he said, tension still in his voice.
He stood, brushing the rest of the water off of his pelt, slightly tumbling. His strength was still yet to return. He flashed a look of sympathy to Sleet Star. Neither of them wanted to fight today. He lifted his head. WindClan, return to camp. Sleet Star is injured. RiverClan will return to their land.
RiverClan, return back to camp, he spoke, speaking in a feigned, commanding voice.
Before leaving, his eyes were locked on Sleet Star. He finally broke his gaze. There was a fight. He seemed to not notice the cat's upset. Turning around, he tried to compose himself. How many hurt? He asked, almost robotically. I don't know. He backed up, letting the other cats in. Looks like a lot of warriors were hurt for this. Smogstar watched from above. He didn't know what to do.
Now that the issue has been handled, let all cats old enough to catch their own prey gather beneath the high rock for a clan meeting. Cats of ThunderClan, I have great news. The fox has been run from our territory and has sustained great injuries. I'm very proud of us for being able to tackle this issue head on. I will be honest and say I did in fact lose a life from this incident. However, he'd paused. I am no less fit to fight than when first selected to lead this clan. I have 5 lives left and will continue to use them to lead our clan to greatness. As such, we must prepare. I know how many of you have heard the horrid rumors spread by Smogstar at the gathering. I am here to say the truth. We must push past these lies. Smogstar and I have had our differences, yes, but for Smog to outright lie and claim that I had relations with a Wind Clan cat is simply abhorred. StarClan pities Smog's soul for steeping to such depths to claim such lies. But this attempt at lying does nothing than prove us stronger. Wind Clan believes they can tear us apart. They believe that we are weak enough to be separated by simple words, but nay, we are better. Wind Clan is the enemy. If we let their lies seep into our ears, next they will slip into our dens. Hear me now, ThunderClan. This level of disrespect will not be tolerated. We are stronger. We have lost a few lives due to this incident. If we had not been so caught up at the gathering, we wouldn't have lost so many. And those deaths we can blame on Smog. Had they not stirred the pot, we may still have our dear clanmates with us. And that is a crime that shall not go unpunished. We will handle this burial with pride and honor for our fallen, and then be ready. We soon will be handling this issue directly. So who's ready to get revenge for our fallen? Who is ready to prove their loyalty to StarClan? Who is ready to drive out Wind Clan? Glory to ThunderClan! He roared.
He exhaled shakily before sitting down. Everyone was okay. Smogstar, would you like to speak away from camp? We can speak, he said, looking at his very green paws. Never mind, I guess. Smogstar waited for Duskvine, but they never approached. He went on his own walk instead.
Sleet stood in front of the moonstone. Surely his warrior ancestors will have the answers he was looking for. As he touched the stone with his nose, nothing. He pressed his nose again. And again. Nothing. Sleet padded off, scared StarClan has abandoned him. Sleet looked in the distance. He noticed Smogstar.
Smogstar's ears perked as he saw Sleet claw over the hill, now crossing the thunder path. His body language was welcoming.
Sleet stared up and looked at Smogstar. His eyes were tired, his mind clouded.
Come sit with me, he called, hitting his tail against the stone.
Sleet hesitated. In his mind, it was a trap, but he didn't care. He padded up to the outlook rock and sat next to Smogstar.
He sat in silence for a few moments. I wanted to ask something of you.
Sleet stared down at the thunder path. He didn't flinch or give a physical reaction to Smogstar's words, but he was listening.
We were both weak. We killed each other over a few inches of land. It's foolish. We used to run in these moors together, hoping that Tumblestar wouldn't find us. I miss that.
Remember when Tumblestar did catch us? He finally spoke up.
Nothing ever came of it. He lifted a paw with a twisted grin. We were camp-bound for a few days, but we didn't care.
I still remember the look on his face. Sleet gave a weak chuckle, looking up at the sky. I'm down to my last lives, he admitted bluntly.
Yet you risked one for mine. He closed his eyes for a moment.
I couldn't just leave you to die.
Smog stood, rubbing his head against Sleetstar's shoulder. I understand you need to do what's right for your clan. He patted away slightly. Just don't forget about us, okay?
Bitter padded by and saw Ivory in the distance.
I heard about the battle between Wind Clan and River Clan. Smugstar has lost a life when the battle took place.
Oh, is that so? How interesting. So Smog and Wind Clan is weakened, I assume?
Her ear did a light twitch. From what I know of, yes. But that does not mean that Wind Clan is weakened.
Interesting. Well, then I guess Sleet Star and I have a common enemy. This will help us in dealing with Wind Clan.
She turned to her deputy, then back at Bitterstar, slightly worried. Dealing?
We can all agree Wind Clan has become too big of a problem. And when I look to the stars, Star Clan seems to point to one less star being in their sky.
She hissed. You and River Clan will not be taking over Wind Clan. We are meant to be 4 clans, Bitterstar. Your clan and every other clan involved with Star Clan knows of this.
I agree with Ivory Star. You can't mean that, Bitterstar, she said, shock in her tone.
His eyes cold, his body language colder. If you don't agree, then so be it. Star Clan has shown me the way, and who am I to try to deny them of the destiny they've laid before me?
She stomped her paw down. Your brain is one of a mouse, Bitterstar. Taking out Wind Clan will ruin every clan. You are crazy as a 2-legs dog. She hissed with distaste on her tone.
Be that way, he smacked his tail. Thank you for the information. Good luck stopping me. He pat away, confidence in his body and mind.
Let's go. We must talk to Smugstar about this in the morning, she hissed.
Bitter sat patiently, waving his tail to signal all apprentices and kits to the front. Joyous news! It is time to move our kits and apprentices on to the next chapter in their life. It is with great honor that I stand before you to announce this occasion. Mothpaw, please step forward. Do you vow to uphold the warrior code and fight for your clan in rain or shine? He dipped his head. Then I hereby give you your warrior name, Mothfreckle. May Star Clan light your path. Magpie Kit, please step forward. I see a great hunger in you that I know deep within myself. I know these times are trying, so I will give you what you seek. Do you vow to uphold the warrior code and defend your clan, rain or shine? Then I hereby give you your warrior name. Magpie Strike, welcome to being a warrior. I trust Star Clan will guide you to great things. Seek them and your clan for support. And to you, my clanmates, I see great distrust in your eyes. Need I remind you of all we sacrificed to get this far? All the lives lost, honors tainted? Are we weak? He roared, knowing in his heart this was the right choice. The choice set by Star Clan. I am off to River Clan. We will join forces with them and prepare. The battle is near. Soon enough, there will be one less star in the sky. He'd make his presence known and wait outside the den, patiently, calculating.
Bitterstar, he thought to himself. Bitterstar, he spoke up.
May we speak, Sleet Star?
In what sort of scent? Sleet asked defensively.
I think I may have a proposition that will benefit both of us.
He turned back to his deputy, signaling them to leave the den. Come in, Sleet invited, his guard still up.
He'd watched the deputy pad out and patted himself.
Speak, Sleet spoke, more of a demand than an ask.
I've spoken to Ivory Star. They told me of your skirmish with Wind Clan. I believe that gives us a common enemy.
Sleet blinked, listening to the ThunderClan's leader's words without responding.
I came to offer a trade in return for your support in driving them out.
Sleet thought of Smogstar, and what would this reward be?
Something stolen from you by leaders in the past. Something you covet. Sunning Rocks.
Sleet thought to himself. A plan formed in his brain, although he wasn't thinking clearly. What do you propose to do?
We join forces and drive them out. Upon Wind Clan's removal, you gain all their territory and Sunning Rocks. A smirk formed, knowing this was way too good of a deal to pass up.
Sleet was taken aback by the proposal. What about River Clan? He thought out loud.
As in what would become of you? Nothing. You'll gain more territory and food than you'll ever need, and we will no longer have a pestilence of a clan around.
Moxar's words began to repeat in his head, as well as Dimgaze's words about taking care of the clan. The clan had to come first.
Smugstar.
Ivory Star? He gestured for his warriors to back up.
Smugstar, there is something that we need to speak about. I have reason to believe that one clan is willing to take you and your clan out of this forest.
Take us out? He echoed.
Kill, she mumbled. Bitterstar said in his own words, one clan needs to be taken out.
He looked at the group of warriors she'd brought. Did you come to help? He was nearly begging.
Indeed, I already told Bitterstar off. We are meant to be 4 clans. Taking one of us could ruin the other 3.
He nodded. You are welcome in our camp. Make yourself at home. You will help make us stronger. He didn't know what to say.
She lowered her head in respect before looking at her group of cats. Make yourself comfortable.
Welcome them, he commanded. With all the recent fights, do you really think ShadowClan is going to be on our side? She grunted quietly. We don't have a choice, he muttered grimly. Bitterstar could be in our camp at any moment. We need numbers, no matter what it costs. We shouldn't give our prey and land to cats we might not trust. We're moments away from losing all of it. Pardon me, I mutter. Sorry. Snarlfang is undergoing a health issue? Bad. He looked down at Snarlfang. It was hard for him to feel anything right now. They were on the edge of war. I can't stay with you longer. Make sure the next deputy will lead us like I did, he said, slowly starting to stop breathing. Get ready for a fight. The moment Snarlfang was gone, he shifted back to the chaos. Oh, Crowpaw, what are you doing here? Your medicine cat's betraying you. Guard the entrance, he owled. Wow, alright.
Smugstar, he yelled. Here. Now. He stared down at the lanky Tom. Pretentious pity flashed across his face. This is your one chance.
What do you gain from this? He challenged weakly.
You stole everything from me. I'm here to return the favor.
He tensed. The words chilled him.
Now, heal. Or die fighting a wasteful fight that will kill many, if not all, of your clan.
Smugstar lifted his head in defiance, shaky on his heels. I'm sure they'd rather die.
Would you really kill all your cats for what? A barren wasteland?
He stepped back, accidentally bumping into Ivory Star.
Ivory Star stomped her paw as she stepped over. And what about you? You're just a mouse brain trying to kill us all for what? Something you made in the past? She hissed.
Ah, sweet Ivory Star. Playing the hero and everything, aren't we? I'm surprised to see a coward like you here.
His gaze flickered over Sleet Star for a moment.
Sleet pinned his ears, not daring to look at the opposing clans.
I'm the coward when you got Sleet Star to help you win battle? 2 versus 1 does not sound very nice, Bitterstar. She laughed out.
It's not my fault your sad patch of cats doesn't even equate a full clan worth of cats. Your mistakes are your own downfall. I just brought RiverClan to ensure that fact. This is going nowhere. The 2 Mousebrain to see their beat. He turned to the cats behind him. It is time. Attack!
Her claws poked out as she lunged to Sleet Star, pinning the Heat Kitty.
Sleet fought back, weakly kicking with his hind legs as he screamed.
She hissed out in pain, stomping her paw back on the ground before she could fall off the weak he-cat, cutting the cat's face with her claw.
Sleet cried, finally breaking down into tears as he screamed, kicking the ShadowClan leader off of him as he hissed.
Smugstar defensively pressed himself against his medicine cat, lost in the chaos. Smugstar turned, heading towards the ShadowClan cat being attacked. He reared up, batting at the ThunderClan cat, trying to free Log Prowl. Aurora slicing clean down Smugstar's side. He leapt onto the leader. He staggered, letting out a gasp as he felt the cold air hit his skin. He then stumbled under Impapaw's weight. He let out a screech, weakened by the warrior's gash. He blindly clawed upwards towards the apprentice. He finally forced all of his strength, shoving Impapaw to the side and pinning him down. He aimed for the throat before flipping on his back with a gasp. He placed a paw on the cat's front, claws sinking into his fur. He stared at the young cat in a plea. Ah! Ember tried to wiggle out, clawing with all his strength. When he watched how Smugstar pinned the RiverClan apprentice, something furry roared inside him. He didn't think about it before he barreled towards his own leader, violently throwing him off balance. He staggered as the wind was knocked out of him. Duskvine, he hissed, confused. Standing over Impapaw, he breathed heavily. Not him. His pupils narrowed. He didn't have time to argue. He turned, seeing Bitterstar on his rock.
He'd stared down at the lanky Tom, his anger seething at his fangs.
He stared up at Bitterstar. Get off that rock, he snarled, struggling to keep upright.
What's wrong? Too weak to defend your place and honor?
He anchored his paws to the ground. Fight me on even ground, coward.
Even then, it wouldn't be a fair fight. He'd pounce down, his muscles rippling on his broad shoulders.
Smog flinched as he approached. He muffled a low growl, staring at him with cold eyes.
He'd calmly pad forward and speak to the leader. How does it feel knowing you and your whole clan is about to die?
Anger rippled through his pelt. He reared up and harshly clawed across Bitterstar's face, aiming for his eyes.
He'd step back and chuckle, seeing the weakened leader flail.
He winced as his paws hit nothing but the ground. He had missed.
Why keep trying? He'd swipe at the leader's side, toying with him.
Smogstar hopped back, becoming more irritated. He flashed teeth at the Tom, but clearly wasn't willing to throw himself into another fight.
Ah, the coward shows his true colors.
Smogstar finally snapped. He lunged forward, wide jaws aiming straight for Bitterstar's throat.
Bitter, calculatingly, reacts, dodging and countering, his claws slicing down Smogstar's throat, almost tearing it out.
He let out a terrible gargling sound before he hit the ground. Smogstar struggled. His lives were desperately trying to get him back on his paws, but he kept fading. Desperately pressing his paws onto the wound, he tried to stop the surge of blood spilling forward. The wound was slowly healing, but it was taking his lives to mend it. Duskvine's herbs didn't help. Finally, on his last life, the wound closed. He stood, shaky on his paws as he pushed the other cats away. WindClan, retreat! Head for the barn! Who did we lose? His voice was raspy. His heart sank as he saw how little of their clan had followed to the barn. He pushed himself up onto the wooden structure. He had to say something. What's left of WindClan and ShadowClan, gather here. WindClan, today was a great loss. We lost our home and many warriors.
Cats of both clans, today was a monumental success.
All of you fought to protect each other. I am proud of those who stand before me, even in defeat.
You have shown great courage, strength, and valor.
We have been wronged by ThunderClan and RiverClan. This isn't right.
We have done right by StarClan.
This is not the end of WindClan.
With WindClan gone, I look forward to a brighter tomorrow.